messed up with a lot of my settings. So, I mean, we're here now, so that's good at least. But yeah, we are going to be going back to the wonderful, wonderful world of Echo. I have not played that in a hot minute, I want to say, as well, so it'll definitely be great to go back. So, yeah, just get the game booted up. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can hear the game all right. And there you go. There we have it. Ah, man, I miss Echo. It's been a very, very, very hot minute since we last played this game. The game is good. Yes, indeed. I 100% agree with you on that. Okay, let's see. I let's see, shit. I keep forgetting which save is what every time I come back. I want to say it's this one. Yeah, okay, it is this one. Pants dangerous. Hello, hello, welcome on in. The blood welcomes you. Hope you're doing well. Happy to have you with us. And again, if you guys can't hear the game, then let me know. So, I assume it's a visual novel. Indeed, it is. It is a psychological horror novel, but we are on. I think we're actually on the last story. We're on like the last storyline for this whole game, and it's taken me multiple streams to get like a few of the said stories done. So we're on the last character, and this is, I think, the last story that we've got for uh, for Echo. I think we're on Flynn, and the reason why I put possibly spicy in the stream title as well is because, from what I remember, this storyline, this this one in particular is very, very spicy. So just a just a slight warning before we begin. As I step outside, the first thing I see is Carl down on his knees in the gravel, the tripod upright, the tripod upright beside him. Yes, yes, there are tiny bits of spicy here and there. I should say that this game is 18 plus, but you know, there's nothing visually lewd about it, so that's good to know. It's just, it's all in the text, you see. His large shoulders are shaking some, and I can hear rasped swears between his shuffling movements. Carl? Carl's shuffling stops. The ram turns his head to look at me, the whites of his eyes looking like the color of bubblegum. Oh hey! Amio and... Oh my gosh, is that an Ash? Is that an... Hey! No, I'm not cute. I see you there. Ash, you're being bad. But hey, how's it going, you guys? Hope you all are having an awesome day. Or night, or morning, or... I mean, whatever time zone. It said 3 DJs for Ferality? I hope we're 3 DJs for Ferality. Holy crap. The application letters are literally only like 2 days away now, actually. Yeah, 2 days away. I mean, I guess after stream, then technically it's 1 day after. But yeah. Yeah, here's good luck to the 3 of us. I hope I can share a stage with you guys again. Oh heck, Dex, welcome on in. The bluff welcomes you. Hope you're having an awesome night, evening, morning. Oh my god, I'm sweating. Yeah, I've been sweating too. I am super, super scared of the application letters that come in for Ferality Aqua. I mean, yeah, Ferality Aqua. I guess that's the official name now. Pause cross for the both of you. Yes, indeed. Pause cross for all heckin' 3 of us or 4 of us here. Actually, yeah, there's 4 of us. Because I I don't I don't think I've ever shared a stage with Dex either. So Dex, here's to hoping. Okay. Alright. Guess he wasn't sobering as much as I thought he was. Fuck, dude, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Fuck! Just slipped and shit because the thing is too hard to put on. Like, it won't lock. There's no click. As I approach, I see my camera splayed out in front of him and the gravel on its side. Carl's clutching a snapped-off battery in his paw. Jesus, Carl, you dropped it. It wouldn't turn on and this thing fell off. He holds up the battery casing and I quickly take it from him, beginning to try to fasten it back on. I'm real fucking sorry, man. I'll pay for it and everything. Like, I can write a note to your teacher saying it was my fault that... The battery locks in place on the back of the camera. With a tentative sigh, I flip on the power. The digital display flashes to life through the viewfinder and I look back up at Carl. His jaw is slack, his expression vacant, almost gormless. Well, it's fine. It looks like nothing's broken or cracked. Good luck to everyone. We all have very solid sets. Yes, of course! I mean, chances are, depending on who gets in, we could all show up in each other's sets somehow, like LMAO did. You know what? Yeah. We could end up doing cameos. We could do cameos, yeah. Oh yeah, that actually reminds me. So... Oh heck! Heckin' rave! Welcome on in! The blood welcomes you! Hope you're doing well. Yeah, but that reminds me of something. I actually gotta show you guys. So, I reached out to a buddy, cause I have language as my first song for the set, and I asked a buddy if he could give me like some animation loops, and they ended up making them. Oh, Demon Fang! Welcome on in, the blood welcomes you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having an awesome evening, morning, time zone. Hey, I'm not cute. No, not cute, and it never will be. You know, heckin' stinker. But yeah, I've been thinking of doing like a little bit of visuals again, the same way how I did for Legends. No, I'm not cute. You shush. But, let me see. Let me see if I can load it up here. So I asked a buddy if he could give me some visuals to use. And he was actually nice enough. Whoops, nope. There. Nope. Not that one. Whoops. Okay, so... You know what? I'm just gonna do display capture real quick. So, they were nice enough to lend me some visual loops. So I'm thinking like something like this would work pretty well. And then, nope, that wasn't it. And then this would be like the drop visuals that we would use. So, yeah, that's been something on my mind. And then the other thing is I've been wanting to like make some like, I guess you could say abstract visuals or abstract like symbols so that like I could use that as like in a build-up or whatever. So yeah, that's been something on my mind. Having your own visuals is always great to have. Yeah, I've been thinking about like my own visuals for quite a while. And also, hello Alex. No, I'm not cute and I never will be, so you shush. But I hope you're having a good evening. I really need to find some. I'm pretty sure that you could find some decks. I think Jahari might be able to help out as well, but that depends if he's busy or not. Marcus! Hi! Boom, boom, boom. Well, come on in. The blood welcomes you. But yeah. With that being said, let's get back to Echo. I don't want I don't want to hold up the entire stream, and like I feel bad whenever like we get off topic like this because I go on forever about this sort of stuff. Hey Marcus, welcome on in. I hope you're having a good evening. Both Demon Fang and no, Alex, I'm not cute and I never will be. Hey Torrigar, how's it going? Welcome on in. Blood welcomes you. He rubs his sizable paw across his eyes and muzzle, closing his mouth. The flickering wave of relief that appears in his eyes seems to quickly dissipate, however. Huh. Guess it wasn't broken. No, the battery disconnected from the camera when it slid off the tripod. They're designed to come off. Like, I do it all the time to recharge them. He just kneels there, rubbing his face as he stares at the equipment. Carl, this isn't that hard. He's quiet for a second. Yeah, I know it isn't. He pushes himself back up on his hooves. Look, all you gotta do is, when you're trying to attach the camera to the tripod, is slide it into the existing grooves. Right here. I'm worried about Xerix and my nerves are shot and I'm in tears. Oh. Well, I hope you'll be okay, buddy. Tier, I'm not cute. No, you shush. I'm not cute and I never will be. But how's it going? Hope you have a good evening. Morning. Afternoon. Whatever time zone you're in. Marcus, this game is called Echo. It is a furry horror visual novel. There are a little bit of spicy scenes in here, so just a slight warning with that. But it is safe. It is safe. it is still safe to stream, so that's a good thing. But like this game will last you like hours and hours and hours. Like we're just now getting onto the 4th and final chapter of the entire game. Alex, I'm not cute. You shush. I point to the 2 beveled edges on the base. Then bring it in from the backside and... Dude, I just don't think I'm up for this right now. He's looking back toward my car, his paws in his pockets. Ugh, fine. I got this, I guess. Yeah, I just get in the way. I give Carl a look. I know he's not obligated to help or anything, but Jesus Christ. He dips his head, trudging his way back toward the car. With a sigh, I start setting up the remaining equipment myself. It takes me about 15 minutes to get it all put together and the color white balanced. Even still, the gravel parking lot makes it a lot difficult to adequately line up my shot. Everything ends up looking slightly crooked. I know I can probably fix it all in post, but that's more work for me and I'm not looking forward to. Carl, meanwhile, has his eyes glued to his phone. Looks like he found a pair of earbuds because he's got those in too. Refocusing, I take stock of the footage I got from here so far. The midday sun means that my recordings are all pretty much well lit, but I can't help but think that a sunset would be more symbolic. Maybe I'll come back later. I don't know. My phone vibrates in my shorts. Grabbing it, I see I've got a new message from Leo! Yes! With Jenna and TJ playing football. Oh, wait. I forgot, was this... I forgot what chapter this was with, because I do remember... I forgot, was it Leo's path when we went to play football with TJ, or was it the TJ path? I actually forgot. Oh yeah, by the way, if this paw and phone... Oh shit, hold on. What are the controls for this again? I forgot. I think it was H, right? Yeah. Yeah, middle click or H, yeah. So, if you guys recognize this phone and this paw right here, this is the exact same phone and paw that I used at Ferality Legends with like the with like the Skype messages and text messages and stuff. This is the exact image that I used because I kind of wanted to like give like a small reference to Echo. So yeah, there's a little story for you. I'm with Jenna and TJ playing football. I'm assuming he means soccer, but I decide now isn't the time to press him on word choice. Sounds fun. I'm filming with Carl and Flynn here. I slide my phone into my pocket, unlocking the trunk of my car so that I can start putting away all this equipment. After closing the trunk, I realized that now that Flynn's standing at the City Hall entryway with his arms crossed, staring furrow-browed at my vehicle. Why the fuck is Carl here just sitting in the car? I throw up my arms and shrug. Damn, his eyes. He's fucking stoned off in his rocker, ain't he? Flynn is squinting at the window at the Ram, who seems to barely acknowledge his presence. He ate too much of an edible this morning, apparently. Flynn looks to me, then back to Carl. Probably for the best he's staying in the car then. Come on. He turns, heading right back inside. I follow, catching a glimpse of Carl sinking down in his seat. Flynn leads me through the narrow hallways, the ceiling lit and with visible old piping and the walls covered in dents and scratches. Eventually, we turn into a colorful room that looks like a mix between an old post office and a kindergarten classroom. Alright, like I said, the archive files are on the back along the south wall. The computer in the corner is logged into the country's GIS viewer. Maps and shit, basically. He points to a cream-colored computer that must be from around the early 2000s by the look of the make. Dust visible on the top of the tower. Oh, so like, where the native burial grounds and that sort of thing are? Flynn crosses his arms, looking back down at me. Yeah, I know. As far as I know, the Meseta tribal government hasn't put forth on any sacred site claims within miles of Echo. Wow. Really? Really? Why's that? I don't have a whiff of shit's worth of a clue or care. Go ask Jenna if you want to be all weird about it. I don't think she has much ties to her tribe. Yeah, well, it doesn't stop her from being a bitch about it whenever she sees fit. Flynn sucks in his cheek, as if saying that left a bit of an unpleasant taste in his mouth. Flynn speaking less than kindly towards the folks isn't anything new, but not usually about Jenna. He looks down at some papers in his hand as if they suddenly were very interesting. Is this about what she said when you got Carl the lighter from the reservation? His slitted eyes flicked back up to me, his lips thinned. You thought that was bullshit too, right? Well, I think she was just still in, I don't know, den mother mode with regards to TJ after what you did. If you want to get everyone talking again, you should just apologize. There's a pause in the conversation as cloud cover shades the light coming from the window. It's not just about the lighter crap. She doesn't give a shit about me, and she really just doesn't give a shit about Sydney. I blink. I'm still amazed at how much his name is being mentioned after all these years of silence on the subject, especially from Flynn. He catches my expression and grunts, the guy resting the side of his hip against the sorting counter. When he died, all she fussed about was how it affected TJ. Sid could rot for all she cared. That's not fair. We were kids and people react to that sort of traumatic stuff differently. Maybe helping TJ is what kept her occupied. Oh yeah? Remember a few months before it happened, when all that shit was going on with Sid's dad? And fucking Jenna, all she tried to shield TJ from all the negativity of the situation. She tried to help it. He was different. I don't know. Fuck, we were just kids. No, she fucking hated Sydney. Carl hated Sydney. Leo hated Sydney. TJ would never fucking admit it, but he hated Sydney. And you hated Sydney. He looks at me in the eyes now. I'm quiet for a moment, and I'm trying to think of what to say. Flynn, meanwhile, just looks expectant, seemingly waiting for me to blanch and try to defend myself. Hey, elusive, welcome on in. The bluff welcomes you. I hope you're having a good evening, morning, night, time zone. But yeah, good for you to join us tonight. Sydney was an asshole. He raises his chin some, his crossed arms seemingly squeezed more tightly over his chest. And yeah, so am I. No, not like him. Nobody knew him like I did. You said that, but that doesn't mean the crap that he pulled on us, on TJ, was anyway justified. I'm pretty sure he genuinely enjoyed watching people get hurt. Flynn stares back, jaw slack before gritting his teeth. He liked wrestling, he liked pirates, he liked pulpy adventure shit, but he did not like hurting people. TJ cried every day, no matter what. He could see a dead fly on the windowsill and start bawling. And you all would drop everything and come rushing to his aid, scorning the shit out of everybody who didn't. We couldn't make jokes, we couldn't tease each other, we couldn't roughhouse, and we couldn't even fucking swear without TJ getting upset. It isn't like we could just go out and hang out with someone else. This is Echo, and Leo was... it's just fucking dead set on keeping the group together. Though now the group for Leo essentially consists of 2 members. Your ass and his cock. Wow. I frown deeply, but before I can interject, he continues. When Sydney died, you all convinced yourselves that he was a fucking monster kid, so they didn't have to hurt as much. I ain't gonna apologize. Fucking hell, they should. Flynn uncrosses his arms, staring at some out of the sole window of the cramped mailroom. Oh wait, that actually reminds me, we are not on the final chapter of Echo. We are on the 3rd chapter, actually. Yeah, because Jenna is the last one that we have to do. I completely forgot that we didn't play Jenna yet. The cloud cover lifts. I'll be at the front desk. If you take something, always put it back where you found it. He turns, making his way back down to the narrow hall. I'm left alone. Everything feels really quiet now, a sort of weird solace amidst the shelves upon shelves of Echo's history. Holy heck, Smooth 23, what's up? How's it going? The Blep welcomes you. Hope you're having an awesome night, evening, time zone, wherever you might be. But yeah, it's good to have you with us. You caught us at a very good time. We are playing Echo, the game that we have not played in quite a while. Even before, when I promised like 2 months back that I would play Echo, I didn't really get the chance to. But now we do. I rub my face in my muzzle, spinning a whisker as the previous conversation plays in the back of my head and begins to fade like a passing dream. With a slow exhale, I turn and head over to the archives. They all seem to be categorized by numbers, like 105-66-009 or 107-21-001. I grab a random file off the shelf, 106-01-001. Flipping it open and see a cluster of 15 or so papers and permits for a place called Adelaide's Thrift and Pawn. I hope I'm saying that right. It sounds familiar, and it only takes me a bit before perusing to figure out why. Near the exit from Route 93 to Flint Road, there's this faded old shack of rotten wood. How's this route going for you so far? We are just getting back into it, actually. But so far, I'm actually liking this. Because the last time we played this, the story was like super, super spicy. Growing up, all that was left of the sign out front was Elaide's Thrift. I think it's bulldozed now, though, since I didn't see it on the drive-in. According to these documents, Adelaide's Vonberg applied for and successfully obtained a business license and a deed to the property in 1979. I'm guessing these folders correspond to a piece of property within Echo, or a parcel. That helps some, but I'm still not sure exactly where to look. I put the file away and move over towards the computer Flynn got ready for me. The screen displays an aerial photograph of Echo, with little polygons drawn all over it like a bizarre checkboard. Clicking on one, nothing happens. I click again and the pointer turns into an hourglass, the program stating that it's not responding. Damn it. As the hourglass rolls on the screen, I think I hear the front door open down the hall. At first I wonder if it's Carl, but then a voice speaks that I don't recognize, then Flynn's. I can only make out a little bit of what he says. That's what they told you at the county office? You could have came here. The hourglass spins. The Unicorporation. It shouldn't affect developers who... Finally, a little window pops up listing owner, address, parcel number, links to the building plans, and other fields. Slow as hell, but this is actually kind of neat, I guess. Curious, I scroll over to the location of my old house and click. This time it reacts a little faster. The complaint forms are physical, not much of an online presence at. It's currently listed as abandoned and condemned. Looks like the people my parents sold it to ditched it rather quickly. I move back toward the archive, picking up my old house corresponding file and setting it down on the counter. Opening it, I see a weathered floor plan of my old house dating back to 1986. Nothing here could remotely be considered of interest for my project. However, I put the file back where I found it. As I hear the increasingly quiet rasp of Flynn's voice in the other room, I realize he's probably too busy to hold my hand with regards to where to look. Especially after the previous conversation, it might be best to just give him some space. I stare at the aerial display on the computer monitor, trying to figure out where to start looking. That is... We're gonna do 4 save slots, just in case. Just in case if, like, we can't go back to this. The mine. There's something about the old mine that feels off to me. Unlike pretty much every local in Echo, the mine was the only place we absolutely did not play. Sydney tried to make one of our scavenger hunt objectives down there, but TJ told his mom about it, and that was the end of that. After looking up the parcel number, I retrieved the corresponding file and laid it out on the mail counter. This one has an archival notice attached to the front. Guess my hunch might be right. Opening the file, the first thing I note is that there is a seriously large amount of documents here, and even a laminated old photo. Huh. That's a hell of a lot more verdant than it is these days. Might have to do with the damming they did up north in the 50s. I'm guessing the CM 1915 is referring to the year the photo was taken. Within the folder itself, many of the documents seem to be legal in nature, including documentation about a lawsuit of some sort. The ones up on top seem to relate to that tourism program Echo tried a decade ago. There's a few papers about a historical heritage grant, and the installation of a bench and 2 lamps outside the mine's entrance. There's even reference to a large placard installed on the side of the rock face outside, but I don't ever remember seeing that. Following this, there's another folder within that contains some condemned notices and squatter evictions dating from 1970 to 1975. Said folder also notes a work order for the installation of rebar bars in the mine front to prevent entry in 1976. Next, there's the actual lawsuit documentation itself. The lawsuit contributed in part to the official closing of the mine during the war in 1942. The working conditions were abysmal, and the owners of the mine were also heavily involved in the town government, so there were corruption charges. The Danica mine, also known as the CSCG, copper silver gold gold mine, was the most in-demand employer of the northern portion of this state for decades. This was in little part due to the management by the owners, but rather the natural conditions of the mine itself. The structure of the bedrock kept this cave-ins unlikely, and its chemical composition kept the temperature stable and somewhat bearable. Flooding was of minor concern to the low water table of the region. And the other mines within the state, miners may have been expected to stand 2 feet of dirty water in the 40-degree temperatures. All the while, with the looming threat of a cave-in being a very real threat, amplified with every strike of the sledgehammer. Yet even still, the mine managed to have one of the highest casualty rates for its workers in all of the Southwest. The suit argues that this was at root due to severe negligence by the owner, Gregory Briggs. Miners were required to buy their own tools, including handles, sledges, picks, stakes, and even dynamite. Their wages, however, were such little amount that many miners must have been forced to choose between having these tools and their family being able to eat that week. Many chose the latter, as most men who moved to Echo did so with the explicit purpose of being able to provide for said families. Briggs operated the mine under constant fear of the worker unionization. I don't know how to pronounce this. To SCJ, I don't know. Okay, blah blah. To assuage this, I hope I'm saying that right. I might not. He hired an incredibly nationally diverse assortment of workers. His rationale, though, denied in court, was to ensure that no group of workers spoke the same language, thus reducing the chance of a collaboration for better working conditions or wages. This preventative action was particularly heinous due to the nature of the work itself. Communication was crucial, especially in the low light conditions of the lower depths. Despite the language barrier, miners were expected to coordinate dangerous group mining procedures. For example, for standard ore extraction, one miner would hold a spike to the mine wall, while another miner swung the sledge toward the spike. With light sources being scarce, this meant that the risk of striking the other miner with the sledge was a constant risk, and something that occurred with some frequency. with some frequency. Many miners were crippled from the blows to the paws or arms, and then once fired, were unable to support their families. Jesus. Okay. This led to several notable starvation incidents within the town. The lawsuit documents also include references to a brief riot in 1915 where a grisly murder took place within the mines itself. Hey Sonic, how's it going? Welcome on in. The Blub welcomes you. Been having a good evening, time zone, morning. Yeah, happy to have you with us tonight. I make sure to write summaries of all of this information on a blank sheet of printer paper before putting everything back. It's this sort of crap that makes me glad I live in the age I do now. I don't think I make a very good miner. Alright, that's that I guess. Okay, so it looks like we can go through all of these. Hey Wheelie, how's it going? Welcome on in. The Blub welcomes you. Hope you're having a good evening, morning, afternoon, time zone, whatever. Yeah, I'm happy to have you with us. After finding the parcel number of the GIS thing, I can't seem to find the corresponding file to it. It's like it doesn't exist in any records here. Or it might just be misplaced. I'm going to go with the second theory. Maybe I'll ask Flynn about it later. City Hall? City Hall has a lot of history. I assume most of the really old stuff isn't on file, but I'd be curious to see what's there regardless. Hello from the West Coast? Oh my gosh, yes! West Coast, Best Coast! After looking up from the parcel number, I retrieved the corresponding file and laid it out on the mail counter. This one has an archival notice attached to the front. That's good. Hopefully that means there's some supplemental information in here. Unfortunately, upon opening the file, I see there aren't many documents. There is, however, a marked photo of some sort wedged between the folder edges. Wait a minute. I forgot who the fox's name was back during Carl's story, but I think this is it. This might be Jenna's ancestor here. I don't know. I'm just taking an educated guess. As for this, I mean, it looks like an otter, but I don't know. Wow, if that's really the date of origin in the top right corner, this photo of these guys was taken at the City Hall 100 years ago. I looked back down to the folder, finding a caption note for the image. Oh yeah, if you guys didn't know, this game took 5 years to finish, if I recall correctly. I think they started in 2015, and then they finished the game and everything in 2020. So that was, like, the fact that this took so long to get everything right is absolutely amazing. I looked through the older builds of Echo as well, and like some scenes, like they just don't hit the same as how they did in the final version of this release. I looked back down to the folder, finding a caption note for the image. Sheriff William Elder left, and Wensleydale researcher Cliff Tibbetts right at a town meeting to discuss Echo/Meseta tribe relations. Okay, so no. Tira, I'm not cute. You shush. I'm not cute and I never will be. Alder. Oh wait, no, actually, yeah. Oh wait, no. I got the two mixed up. Janice is the waiter at the diner. Must be a distant relative of hers. The rest of the documents in the folder just seem to consist mostly of proposed extensions and used changes for the building. Sonic, I'm not cute. Dear, you're enabling this. You shush. Grr. How dare. How dare you turn on me. A lot of them didn't pan out. There's a city government roster here though, and it lists the historical election results of the town going back to the early 20th century. Surprisingly, Flynn and his aunt aren't the only Moors I see on this list. Looks like the Moore family's been involved in the public office in some capacity as far back as 1914. Which is doubly surprising noticing the prejudice against the reptilians that was pretty heavy back then. There's this whole negative stereotype about them being evil and controlling the government that persists even today. So it's pretty weird that a family like the Moores managed to keep getting elected back when the ignorance levels were much higher. Hey, Brocatch Snow! How's it going? Welcome on in. The Bluff welcomes you. Hope you're having a good evening, night, morning, whatever time zone you might be in. You missed a really good scene. Unless if you mean like Chase and Flynn talking about Sydney, then honestly, that's like the only powerful scene that we've seen so far in terms of like the two like talking with each other. But yeah, welcome on in. I'll make a note to ask Flynn about it as sensitively as possible. I go ahead and put everything back in a folder before returning it to the shelf. So what's next? I know enough about Carl's family to know that his house is seriously old. Yeah, was that one? Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a really good scene. His great something or another is the town founder after all. The place has been seriously modernized into a more stucco adobe style, but there's some history underneath all that. Growing up, Carl overheard all this and started thinking the place was haunted. It freaked him out pretty badly. So much so that his parents basically begged me to have sleepovers with them during the weekends, and even some weekdays. Not that I minded, of course. Carl had all the video game consoles that were out, and his parents bought him the M-rated games. I got to stay up late with this giant TV, blowing up aliens and running over hookers. Let's see. I mean, I could see this being GTA 5. Just running over people and hookers. Blowing up aliens, though. What would that be? I remember he started to become less afraid as time went on, and his parents stopped asking for me to come over as much. So of course, shitbag younger me told Carl a bunch of stories about a ghost bride who I said I saw standing outside his house at midnight. And that's how I got to spend my whole 5th grade summer vacation living at Carl's place. After looking up at the parcel number, I retrieved the corresponding file and laid it out on the mail counter. This one has an archival notice attached to the front. It's pretty surprising on account that it's a residential lot. Opening the folder, a photo placed in the front of all the documents immediately catches my attention. Oh, who be this? Hello? Wow. Part of my mind immediately flashes back to Leo, but he wasn't even anywhere close to being this defined. Yeah, I was about to say, like, I don't know, maybe this is an ancestor to Leo? Who knows, but holy heck. I guess life in the early 20th century will do that to you. I should probably read the caption note for this that was attached. Oh, so this is Alder again. Sheriff William Alder rests after surviving the partial collapse of the Hendricks Castle. The Hendricks Castle? Below the note are some rather old, rudimentary building plans crumbling at the edges. The penmanship is all weird cursive and I can't read it. It does look like a little like Carl's house, but much, much longer. What follows are a series of deed transfers from various members of the Hendricks family and even more modern building plans. There's even a cutout from my magazine, Southwestern Modern, which shows off the kitchen space back when it was first redesigned. I noticed something wedged in the back, a beige piece of paper that doesn't look like anything else in here. Is it? Really? Huh. You learn something new every day. Let's see. Embrace of these lands, Boik. So black takes the sky, hot turns to cold, the safety of ignorance from the specters of the day. Shut their eyes, Shut their eyes, they wail, for the dark blanket, and to save them from a hell. And the blonde tarantula pulls itself from the depths, wrought within and without, in search of a suitor who will not live past. Okay, I can't, I don't know what this bottom dialogue says, but I think that says the something. It looks like the, the something else. I want to say vehemence? I don't know. Of its love. Okay, whatever that says. It's kind of hard for me to read this because the text is so small. A poem? Why would this be here? So Cliff was. Oh, okay. Oh, he was a weasel. I thought it was an otter. Never mind. Oh, stupid. They literally give you the dialogue here. Black seeks the sky, hot turns to cold, the safety of ignorance from the specters of the day. Shut their eyes, they wail, for the dark blanket, and to save them from a hell. And the blonde tarantula pulls itself from the depths, wrought within and without, in search of a suitor who will not live past the vehemence of its love. I flip over the poem and set down on the counter. On the other side is a notice of death for a reference in an estate transfer. I still don't know the significance of that note. Hmm. I mean, we might get answers at some point. Who knows? It's for James Hendricks, who passed away in 1913. The cause of death is listed as poison infection. Tarantula. This is pretty unsettling. I didn't think tarantulas were poisonous. I mean, I know they aren't because I fear searched that information online one night after seeing one on my back porch at 3 a.m. Because that poem was some sort of informal epitaph for this guy. Regardless, it's a shitty way to die. The voice in Chase's head had mentioned those names at the end of. Really? I'm gonna have to look back on that then. I cite the. Oh yeah, after we dumped him. After we dumped him and we left on the train. That's right. Oh my gosh, like it's all coming back to me now. I slide the poem death notice back into the folder and make note of it for the project. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense now. Because I never really understood why there were like so many more names that we never really understood. I think that's all for this parcel, so I place the folder back in its slot on the south wall. As I turn around, I see the mayor standing in the doorway. She's peering at me quizzically. A little startled, I straighten up. Oh, hi Mayor, I was just finishing up. She was watching me speak, like staring at my mouth, not my eyes. It's honestly freaking me out a little. She doesn't respond. Mayor? Make sure you put everything back where you found it. Oh, yeah, don't worry, I did that already. Did you now? She steps in the room and picks up a folder from the edge of the counter. I recognize it as the one from the abandoned mines. Oh, God. Yeah, I forgot that one. Sorry. She stands there with the folder held out, waiting for me. I quickly move and take the folder. I try to ignore the hard stare I feel on my back as I walk to the archive hall. Far left end, second cubby from the top. Oh, thank you, I didn't. Mm-hmm. Looks like Flynn's about ready to take off. You gonna give him some company? The way she phrases that makes me reconsider a hasty response. Sure. I can hang out with him and his roommate. You have a boy in your car. I blink. I have Carl in my car. Yes, he wanted to hang back while I did all the work. I faintly chuckled, though not very well. I'd never been good at the whole smiling with your eyes thing. Carl Hendricks? Yes. Have a good rest of your evening, Chase. Thank you, Mayor. You too. She moves on down the hall. After a moment, I follow suit to meet up with Flynn at the front desk. Ew. Heck, it gives me like an intimidating kind of vibe. Wait a minute, isn't this Janice's place? I think I remember, yeah, this was Janice's place. Dude, that's skeevy. After that, she just walked back to her office and shut the door, like almost slamming it. It's Flynn's. Oh, well, I'm a massive. Oh, yeah. Because literally, Janice's place was like filling up the whole screen. Flynn's is just like right here. I remember now. Maybe she's not a fan of you queer types. Carl puts on a southern drawl for that last bit. I step out of the car and pop the trunk, moving to gather up my equipment. Darius, no, I am not cute, and I never will be. But how's it going, you cutie? Hope you're doing well, having an awesome evening, morning, time zone, wherever you might be, cutie. Yeah, how's it doing? How's it going for you, buddy? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I have proof. I will literally sing the Darius is Cute song on stream right now. You just worried about my frisky head? Oh, well, I mean, I hope that it can get solved. Or, I mean, I think you did say that it was in the making, right? Don't you dare? Are you testing me? Darius, do you dare try to test me? I will do it. I will do it. Try me. I will break you. Alright, chat, excuse me for a moment. Darius is cute, doo 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 doo. Oh shit. Darius is cute, doo 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 doo. Darius is cute, doo 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 doo. Darius is cute, doo 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 doo. Darius is cute. Yes, you are. Do you want me to 50 bomb you? Try me. Try me, Snap. Yeah, I may have forgotten that the last thing that I focused on was the was the window capture. Excuse me while I get the car. Don't you dare. You shush. Imagine having to come up with a song to count on someone calling you cute. Yeah, because Darius won't admit that he's cute, even though he is. And he's a massive cutie, and he always has been. The sun is starting to get pretty low at this point. There's not really any tall mountains to the east, so Echo sunsets tend to last a while. Yes, you are. You've been cute since the day that we met, mister. You can't lie to me. You can't lie to the blood, mister. We have known each other since we both started out on Twitch. I should know. Maybe, but she seemed to write with Flynn. Whoa, wait. Why does this look different for some reason? I don't know why, but Carl looks different here. Like, a bit more stylized in this sprite than what I would usually see. I don't know if that's the background, like making it complement his colors a bit more, or what. Lighting shit? Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is actually pretty cool. Like, this just like brings out his colors a lot more. Carl follows suit through his eyes and are still glued to his phone. I can't get over that there's a boy in your car bit. Yeah, she seemed kinda, I don't know, weirded out with me or something. But she wasn't like that when we met. She was pretty cordial then. As I shut the trunk, I spy Flynn's truck parked behind the house, as well as what looks like a faded yellow moped. I'm assuming that one is his roommate's. Huh. The Ram shrugs. You are kinda weird. Maybe you did that staring thing you do sometimes. I blink. The the what? Never mind, man. I frown. Carl looks up from his phone long enough to catch my expression. I'm just kidding. Just making fun of Flynn's whole dressing you down back at the river. Carl smirks. His eyes are no longer glazed over, and it actually feels like he's looking at me rather than 1,000 miles away. We make our way up to the front door, Carl tapping away at his screen. Hard to imagine my house was even bigger back in the day, though. My parents already have more rooms that they know what to do with. Like, we got three spare bedrooms, right? But we never have guests or anything, so they don't get used and just gather dust and stuff. Do your parents make you clean them? Carl rose his shoulders, idly wiping his hooves upon the rough palm fiber floor welcome mat. Sometimes. Knowing Carl, that means pretty much never. Once inside, the familiar hot, stuffy climate hits like a wool blanket thrown around me. What sounds like some sort of lo-fi hip-hop is playing in the background, from what I assume is Daxton's room. The interior is dimly lit with the exception of a bright white light coming from the ajar fridge. Daxton stands next to it, holding a block of pale cheese. Is this what you need? The salamander seems to be peering at us expectantly. No. He raises a brow ridge, craning his neck to look past us. Uh, I was talking to Flynn. The garrulous large self steps out of the laundry room beside us, looking to Daxton. Oh, sorry. Carl gives me a sidelong smirk. That's the provolone. The recipe needs Havarti. Flynn steps past us with much acknowledgement, moving to the kitchen beside Daxton. We have a block of Havarti, but it's in the freezer. There's this thing called a defrost setting in the microwave. Yeah, but you left the fish you caught all on top of it. The pack is sealed, that shouldn't matter. The whole freezer kinda reeks. Like I said, the package is sealed, that shouldn't matter. With a shrug to Carl, I move and set my equipment down next to the kitchen island. I take a seat on one of the wicker top bar stools. Carl lingers on the entryway a bit before moving to sit on the stool next to mine. Flynn wordlessly goes to the fridge and grabs 2 bottles of light beer, popping the tops and setting them down in front of us. Thanks. I'm not 21 yet legally, you know. Flynn shrugs uncaringly before getting a beer for himself. Looking around, the countertops are pretty free of clutter beyond some Mesa Community College letters and a heavily used black notebook. The notebook is labeled Word Building and Fictional History 204. A few water stains have shriveled the edges of the pages. Daxton places the provolone back into the fridge and places the allegedly fishy Havarti on a plastic cutting board. Meanwhile, Flynn is now at the sink, washing vegetables. Daxton grabs a small knife and finally glances back at me. Welcome back, Chase. I wave a bit limp-wristedly. Hey. He smiles, then shifts his gaze to Carl. The Ram looks up from his phone a little apprehensively. And hey, I've seen you before, but I got your name. Sam's something? Carl. He answers, his voice quiet. Oh, well, good to meet you. Usually you're kind of in and out if you're real quick like when you do come by. Carl shrugs. Yeah, same. The Ram's gaze flicks back to his phone, Carl typing something. Daxton frowns slightly before shifting his focus back to cheese cutting. Looking over, it looks like he's texting. The contents of the said message being, oh. Oh, jeez. Wait. Wait, that's what Carl is? Holy shit. This guy, he's probably still stoned. Hey Carl. Flynn looks over his shoulder, scrubbing out what looks like a cucumber. Got your outfit picked out for the interview on Saturday? Yup. Wait, what? Carl, you have a job interview? Yep. I find myself smiling a bit. Carl didn't tell me about this at all. I'm surprised he didn't mention it either. Holy crap, that's great! Where at? Carl stops typing, his lips pulled a bit tighter around the edges of his muzzle. It's in Payton. Payton Print and Design. I'd be like printing copies and making people posters. Oh, the print shop by the mall? I know of it. What do they pay? Minimum wage. Not that it matters though. Daxton looks slightly confused. I turn to him. Carls are pretty well off. Flynn stops at what he's doing, goes to the fridge, and taking out a box of strawberry popsicles. He drops it down on the counter beside Daxton, the salamander startling some, looking to Flynn, then the box. Flynn points to the hen's ice cream label above the logo of a weather vane with the chicken on it. Carl's parents' company. Daxton lets out an astonished huff, looking for some sign of fib on Flynn's muzzle. No way! Way, I'm the ice cream boy. Daxton blinks, seemingly to look at Carl in a new light. Well, that's pretty cool. Carl looks sidelong, then back to Daxton. Glad you think so, I guess. Flynn takes the popsicles back to the freezer, returning to his station at the sink. Just make sure the clothes you got are all fucking fit, right? Can't remember the last time I saw you dressed up. It fits, dude. My parents dragged me to all sorts of black tie event stuff where I have to stand around and lie about my career goals. You haven't done that in ages. I went to the charity gala thing 2 years ago. You mean 20 pounds ago? Most of it's all muscle. I'm not calling you fat large ass. I like how the Hendricks become less of an asshole as the bloodline goes on. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm saying that when it comes time for the interview, and you come in with a hoodie and a cargo pants, they're gonna think that you don't give a fuck. I mean, I kinda don't, you know? Oh, the fuck you don't. You're really looking forward to disappointing the shit out of your folks again? They're used to it. Jesus fucking Christ. Daxon and I exchanged an awkward glance. I'm half tempted to follow Carl's lead and start pretend texting. You worked at the freight warehouse for years and were miserable. Can't blame me for not looking forward to the same sort of thing. Carl feigns a raspy chuckle, though by the jittering of his hooves against the bar stool it's apparent he's tense. And now I have my own house. I see his slitted gaze shift briefly to Daxton, who looks like he's concentrating very hard on cheese cutting. Mostly, and print and design, that's basically working with all the same computer shit you do for your art crap. Seemingly to note an opportunity to diffuse, Daxton chimes in. You're an artist, Carl? Shit, by the loosest definition of the term, I guess. Flynn just rubs his temple some, shifting his attention back to cooking. He places the freshly washed vegetables into a metal pot on the stove with one of those steamer lid things on top. What kind of art? You, don't seem like the oil-based pastoral type. Carl blinks. I hear Flynn grunt derisively, the clicking of the stove top audible as he turns the nozzle for the gas. His heavy tail flicks behind him, lightly slapping the floor. I realize he's trying to get my attention, his eyes meeting mine, then moving to Daxton, and finally flicking to a textbook by the dishwasher. Art History 101, Historical Perspectives and Fundamentals. Glancing back, I see the corner of Flynn's mouth twitch up at me before he turns back around to the pot of veggies. It's still kind of weird seeing Flynn in a work outfit all the time. In high school, he was more of a jeans and jacket kind of guy. Southwestern rockabilly who didn't like rock and roll. His work slacks are pretty baggy and definitely hide the definition of his legs. Flynn's got a V-shape physique though, narrow calves but thicker thighs and a sizable rump. When he bends forward a little, I can see the outline of it all. The lewd side of my mind is starting to wonder if he's doing this on purpose. But why would he after what he said this morning? Hey, not cute, and they never will be. But how's it going, Tobes? Hope you're having an awesome evening. I know it's evening for you. Well, I'm gonna take a quick hydrate real quick. Cause I gotta stay hydrated if I want to keep telling stories. Fire Tiger, I'm not cute, but how's it going? How's it going, you bean? Hope you're having an awesome night, evening, whatever time zone you're in right now. Pastorals? I'm not very good at backgrounds or anything. Portraiture then? Very snazzy stuff, that. The salamander smiles at Carl, showing his rounded cheeks. Carl just looks at him confused. I decide now is a good time to interject and spare Carl from Daxton's entry-level college art class inquiries. Carl draws pop culture character stuff mainly, I think. I haven't really checked out his portfolio profile in a while though. Superheroes, comics, that sort of thing. It's really good stuff. No, it's not. He pauses, shifting his phone in his paws akin to rolling putty. Since superhero movies become really popular, everyone draws that stuff now. Most better than me. I like how Flynn canonically has the fattest ass of the group for no reason. I mean, to be fair, he is a Gila monster. It only makes sense. Cause think about it. TJ is a stick, okay? Like, I'm sorry, but TJ is a stick. He is too innocent for this world. And then Leo is a big heckin' hunk I mean, Carl is the chunk. And then Jenna, I don't know. Jenna, I guess she has the curves. And then Flynn has the smartass personality and the fattest ass. That's what that's the conclusion that I can come up with. It's kind of a dead end style, I guess. Can't make any money from anything I make. Twin Cat is my favorite. I have a buddy Rocky, who really likes TJ, and that's because like they share the same characteristics. Like Rocky is also Christian as well, but he doesn't mind swearing, so that's the good thing at least. But he does not like spicy stuff. He likes playing Echo though, but he does not like spicy stuff. Carl sounds more like he's quoting something rather than stating an actual opinion. Daxon raises a brow, nodding in acknowledgement. There's a pause, the only sound of the bubbling of boiling water and Dax's knife hitting the plastic cutting board. Well, not if you draw them with their clothes off. The salamander tries to put on his most innocent face. That lasts for about 3 seconds before breaking into a wry smile at Carl's groaning. The ram taking a long swig from his beer. He's grinning too now, though. Everyone online tells me that, but I don't know, man. Every time I try to draw Chaos Wolverine as tits, they just look like big ass furry eyes. I, I'm, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know why I find that so funny. I think it's just the way how like they just describe that, and I can sort of picture that in my head. I'm sorry. Oh heck, Johari, well come on in. The blood welcomes you. Hoping you have an awesome evening, morning, night, whatever your time zone may be. Yeah, how's it going? It's good to have you with us. Daxon laughs, and I find myself chittering a bit too. You could try drawing guys instead of women if giving you too much trouble. You'd like that, wouldn't you, Chase? I don't like superhero stuff that much. Well, I wouldn't judge you if you did, Carl. You doing alright? Hey, that's good to hear. I'm glad that you're with us tonight. We're playing Echo. This is a like psychological horror furry novel, and oh boy, we are going to be here for a while, because we are on chapter 3, and then which is, well, chapter 3 for us, which is Flynn's storyline, which is the Gila monster right here, and then Jenna is chapter 4, and I think she has the longest. I don't know. I think she has the longest story, or she has two endings, or 3. I don't know. I forgot. I've written a few awkward sex scenes in my day. You're a writer? That I am. At least I'm trying to be. I'm taking creative writing courses at Mesa to get better. The folks really wanted me to go into marketing like them, but I'm not really into it. Flynn's is the longest gen. Okay, I need to remember that. Though at the same time, that does kind of intimidate me because Carl's route, I think took 4 hours to do. So if Flynn's route is longer, then we are going to be here for a very long time. That's lucky. I'm having to go into debt, so I'm not sure if I'm that lucky. Hopefully one of those books I'm working on sells well. Most people don't read these days. That is true. Who still reads these days? The salamander places the cut up cheese upon the slices of dry bread, and puts the bread on the cooking tray, sighing as he looks back to Flynn. Not everyone can suffice off coming home from work and staring at the wall for hours like you, Flynn. Some people like some degree of mental input, yeah? What? Flynn flicks the stovetop off, his eyes lulled and brow ridge furrowed. Daxon passes him with the tray of rye and Havarti, sliding it in the oven. You call this shit you write mental input? The guy lifts up what he's doing, squinting at Daxton. Did you defrost the Havarti, or did you seriously just spend 15 minutes cutting into a frozen block of cheese? This side of the house is like an oven with a habistat running like it is. Cheese warmed up on its own after a while at room temperature. Flynn throws up his hands, visibly exasperated. Ugh. Well, it wouldn't have taken you 15 damn minutes to cut a few slices of cheese if you just defrosted it. Are you in a rush or something? What you mean about him staring at a wall for hours? The salamander looks standoffish now, his arms crossed. My question seems to have been ignored. Might be. Daxon, what sort of stuff do you write? Surprisingly, Carl is the one to butt in this time. Daxon turns, getting out some plates. Mainly science fiction and fantasy. You know. Oh. No fucking way. Did they just... Holy shit. That is the coolest, that is the coolest Easter egg to to any of their games yet that I've seen. Because if you didn't know, the same people who made this game are the exact same people who made Adastra. If you guys have played the game, that is so cool. I didn't expect an Adastra drop here. Carl takes another drink of beer, rubbing his beard in thought. Sorta? I don't really watch it myself. It's that space exploration starship show from the 60s with the sexy aliens. This came up before I dashed? Wait, really? Wait, what? I mean, maybe... I don't know, what... I'm just thinking now that maybe like both of them could have been in development at the same time. I don't know, because like I was not like a furry back then. Adastra came out after this? Really? Huh. Well, the more you know. I guess like this was like a... I guess this is a tease to Adastra then. If that's the case. Daxton snaps his fingers. Yep, that's the one. People draw a lot of porn of them. You know, so sometimes on my Twitter feed I do come across like some Adastra stuff. Sometimes it's just, you know, regular fan out. Sometimes it's YIF. So this is pretty accurate. This is accurate. I'm aware. Anyway, I used to watch it a lot with my little brother growing up. I got into the whole piece of the cosmos through science thing, something fierce. The stories for each episode were based on real science. The salamander finishes setting out the plates, bumping his fists together and smiling a bit sheepishly. I'm taking a few physics and engineering courses at Mesa, and try to better understand it all for my own writing. That makes sense. I also really like the whole diplomacy part, the ultimate goal of all first contracts with peace and learning. You don't really see that much anymore. Yup. Like, this one episode from Season 6 of Frontier is a really good example of that, and it really inspires me a lot about what I'm writing in my story. My phone vibrates in my pocket. A message from Leo. Hey, you're not at the motel? A sort of sinking feeling takes hold on my chest. I can feel Flynn looking at me from over the counter as I type my reply. With Carl, Daxton, and Flynn, we're about to eat dinner. When I look up again, Daxton is still chatting away to Carl about the Adastra episode, but I'm not really paying attention anymore. Also, the implications of the reason why Flynn stares at a wall all day makes me... Okay, well, we'll have to check that out. We'll definitely have to check that out then. Find, like, why he does that then. He's serving up the steamed vegetables and the fancy cheese bread fresh from the oven. The bread looks a little burnt around the edges, but maybe it's supposed to be that way. Of course you are. My fingers reflexively squeeze tighter on my phone. Flynn quietly walks around the counter, stepping behind me to look over my shoulder. At first I think he's going to say something, but he doesn't. He's silent. With a sharp exhale, I begin typing my reply. We can all hang out tomorrow. Found some interesting stuff for my project at the city hall. Flynn makes a noise, though I can't really tell whether it's of encouragement or disapproval. I need to talk to you one-on-one. I reply. What about? Leo responds almost instantly. You know exactly what. Oh, this is when he tried to get everyone together to talk about Sydney, wasn't it? At this point, I realize Carl's looking over at my screen as well. I call him and Flynn both out for being rude with this at any other time. Jackson, meanwhile, just looks at all of us with a concerned expression on his face. What's up? Don't worry about it. Carl and Flynn both look at me expectantly as my thumb hovers over the reply button. Should I even respond at this point? I have no clue how he could have found out about Flynn and I, if that's what he truly means. Leo's never been really good at getting his point across through text. He failed many in English. He failed many in English class growing up. He always preferred to talk face to face, so maybe if I could be convincing enough in person, he won't be so worried. Or maybe I should just tell him the fucking truth. I hate this. I'm not even sure I did anything wrong, but I can't help but feel like garbage. And now my pseudo-infidelity line game is becoming a spectacle. I decide I may as well respond with at least a somewhat true response now. No? I shove my phone back in my pocket and Flynn steps back. This is so fucking stupid. Carl looks back at Flynn with a flat expression. What? Carl shrugs. Like I said to Chase earlier, man, I won't say anything. Jackson quietly chews on his very crunchy cheese bread, looking at us from the other side of the counter. Drama? Yup. He moves to my side to back over around the kitchen island, grabbing his plate of food and taking a big mouthful of broccoli. You all want to watch some Ad Astra? The salamander smiles awkwardly, gesturing to the small living room area. I'm down. Carl holds up his bottle of beer before taking a swig. Chase? Flynn? I sigh. Usually TV is a bit too passive for me when I'm trying to get my mind off stuff. Most often I turn to video games instead. Still, Jackson seems pretty passionate about all this. I guess it can't hurt. Sure. All I've ever seen of it are a few of the movies, I think. Oh? Which ones? The ones with all the lens flare and the chrome? Jackson looks at as if a bad taste just settled on his palate. Ugh, the Telling brothers directed those ones. They tried way too hard to be edgy and action-packed. Completely ignored proper characterization. Like Lieutenant Gamoka firing the plasma emitter at the for lesbian ambassador. She's completely non-violent in the original series. She took a vow of peaceful resolution following the violence cascade that destroyed her homeworld in the first season. But the writers just thought it would look cool for the trailers if they showed her disintegrating a guy while screaming her head off. I really like the thought-provoking, philosophical stuff, not the protagonist running around killing people. Jackson huffs, rubbing his fist against his smooth brow. There are good movies and there are bad movies. Most of the ones I've seen from some sequels, they've been pretty bad. I'm not sure exactly how to respond. Yeah, that's pretty not great when that happens. I like the space battles though. Of course, they were made to appeal to a casual audience. I blink. Jackson quickly holds up both his hands, his eyes widening. Oh, I didn't mean that as an insult or anything. No offense taken. I offer him a reassuring nod, taking a bite of the steamed veggies. They certainly taste fresh. Flynn must have gotten these in Payton. Jackson's stuck having to deal with us filthy casuals tonight. Again, sorry, that's not what I meant. No, I know what you mean. You dig it because you grew up with the original shit, and you have all sorts of fuzzy feelings about it. I'm actually kind of surprised to hear Flynn chime in. Yeah, I mean, looking back, the original series was pretty dumb and cheesy. But it wasn't for you when you were a kid, or the tit-dirts who watched it back in the 60s. Yeah, dude, back when we were kids, Leo's dad would get us a bunch of random VHS tapes from the thrift shop in Colville every now and then. Like really dumb kung fu movies or straight-to-video slasher flicks. It didn't even matter if they were R-rated. Sometimes on summer nights we'd gather at Leo's place and watch a bunch of them until almost morning. They were all terrible, but it was great. I find myself I find myself smiling a bit, almost forgotten about all that. Oh jeez, Flynn would always get super into them. He would yell at the screen every time the characters did something stupid. Carl chuckles into his paw, grinning toothfully at the Guyla. Oh man, you get so butthurt. You start stomping around and slamming Leo's cabinets until you got in trouble. Flynn looks off to the side. If lizards could blush, I'm almost certain he'd be doing so now. Whenever there was someone with a gun on screen, they never had any trigger discipline and completely held their guns wrong. And every time, every movie, someone was being chased by some killer or whatever, they completely forgot how to run. That's like almost every horror movie ever. Like, I'm not even joking. Every horror movie, people just never hide. Like, sure, let's go out into the open. Let's go out into the open where the monster can catch us without any issue. That's the thing that I don't like about horror movies recently, is that like they just try way too hard to make it scary. Flynn can be so fucking cute sometimes. Yeah, that is pretty cute. I like that. Oh yeah, you kept count of how many times everyone tripped. You had a little notepad in your trip tally. Daxton looks absolutely tickled by this revelation about Flynn. That sounds hilarious. Wish I had friends like you guys growing up so I could do that sort of thing. Flynn waves dismissively. It was alright. I remember we could never do it with TJ was around. Satanic propaganda and all that, right? He would have been fine with it if we eased him into it. We could start off with the Bloodfire Babes of Babylon. Carl nods sagely, sipping at the last bit of his beer before getting up to retrieve another from the fridge. So, Flynn, you wanna... Yeah, maybe. Daxton looks pretty elated. The amphibian's slightly chubby cheeks puffed out, some as he grins. I know some really, really schlocky episodes from the first few seasons of the original series. I'll put those on. Sounds good, dude. Daxton sets his plate down, fast walking to the TV in the living room. After a moment, Carl looks over at me. Nerd alert. Flynn goes to slide his now empty plate into the sink, slapping Carl on the back of his head as he passes. Fucking rich coming from your neckbeard ass. Hey! I mean, it, I mean it endearingly. Across the room, Daxton waves at us. Hey, I think I got it. The internet is kind of slow out here because it's satellite, but it suffices. Oh my god, this is actually... Okay, so I've never played Adastra, but I've seen some gameplay to know like that this is an actual still from Adastra. That is super cool. Hey, I think I got it. The internet is kind of slow out here because it's satellite, but it suffices. Flynn meanders over. I hope I'm saying that right. Lounging on a love seat on the left side of the living room. His tall stature results in his legs hanging far over the edge, the lizard scratching his exposed chest with a yawn. He cranes his long neck to look back at me and Carl. You tits gonna sit all the way back there? Oh, hold on, I'm coming. Carl gives me a little nudge and we follow suit, views and grasp. Looking at Flynn now, I realize that part of me wishes I could go over there and lay beside him. More practically, I sit in the recliner of the center of the room, while Carl and Dax take the other sofa. Okay, so, in this episode, Captain Amicus lands on our planet in the year of 1968. He's looking for technology to stop an uprising in the future, but... Dax, shut up. No spoilers, dude. Alright, oh, fine. Oh my god, this is... Okay, so they got Adastra stills here. That's super cool. Well, let me reposition myself a bit. There we go. Captain Amicus, the slime woman, they're in the engine room. This leaves me no choice, cadet. Activate self-destruct protocol Baker 19er. But Captain, there's no time to debate. Get to the escape pods. Captain, the test results just came in. They aren't slime women, they're cell women. They're multiplying as a result of some sort of cancer-like phenomenon. By God, cadet, this changes everything. Deactivate self-destruct protocol. If these are cells, then our ship is one sick patient. Cadet, flood engineering... with the radiation pulses at 3-second intervals, maximum output. I still don't understand why the cell women have tits. Why are they women in the first place? Or why all the lady officers don't wear pants? Carl takes another glug of his beer, this being his third so far from my count. I said I was going to show you the bad ones, guys. Jackson looks a bit defensive, leaning forward on the edge of his seat, his plump tail wrapped around the armrest. Carl idly chucks a throw pillow at the salamander. I'm not complaining, dude. He laughs a little and Jackson eases, chucking it back at him with a bit more force. Carl takes the blow like a champ, and regard that he doesn't even react beyond smiling goofily. It's surprising to see that Carl comfortable like this around a stranger. I can't help but feel kind of happy that he can come out of his shell every now and then. It's fucking dumb. How does anyone take this shit seriously? They don't. We certainly aren't. Fast and Furious. Who? I, I'm gonna be honest. Who does take Fast and the Furious seriously now? I glance over toward Flynn, who's digging in his pockets for his phone. He taps the unlock button, squinting at the bright screen, the black and orange scales on his face seeming to glow silver and yellow in the light. I find myself leaning forward a little, trying to read the tiny text on the screen. It takes me a moment to realize that Flynn isn't looking at the screen anymore. He's looking back at me. He huffs, moving the screen away from my view before beginning to text something. Is it? No, it's not Leo. Flynn stares at his phone, a sort of expectant expression upon his muzzle. Hey, I don't mean to be all prying and such, but who's Leo? Daxton seems to be asking me this. My ex. Flynn glances back at for a moment, though says nothing. Oh, Leo's a guy? Yes. Cool. The salamander frowns in an acknowledging fashion, nodding his head before refocusing his attention back to the TV. Captain Amicus is in the midst of being attacked by the slime women. Even with the prosthetics and lighting, I can tell that all the slime women are actually just a bunch of amphibians in green body paint. Flynn's phone vibrates again. He taps at it, clearly not much of a fast texture. After finishing his text, he hastily shoves the phone back into his pocket. I'm heading out. He pushes himself up from the couch, unruffling his shirt before mendering over her mean. Is this meandering or mendering? I think it's mendering, but over toward a bowl on the kitchen to get his truck keys. Wait, what? Oh, come on, slithead. Daxton briefly smirks at Carl's turn before seconding. Yeah, this is actually pretty fun. Where are you going? Out. You should get back to the motel before the others start bitching. I feel my face grow hot, my fists starting to clench. Okay, maybe drop the mysterious act, asshole? Flynn just heads out the front door, swatting his tail against the kitchen island and flicking me off as he exits. Flynn! He's out the door without further comment, and I can hear the chirping sound from his truck outside as he unlocks it. Fucking moody, right? Think something's up with them? Carl shakes his head. Nah, he's just trying to look cool. If it isn't well, it isn't working. Dude gets uncomfortable with casual social stuff, I think. He's 25 years old. This is bullshit. We should just be straight with me. Hey, not cute. And it never will be, but Old Paw Pet Show. How's it going? Welcome on in. The club welcomes you. Hope you're having an awesome evening, night, time zone, wherever you might be. Yeah, we are playing Echo. We haven't played this game in a while, so ooh, excuse me. But yeah, we haven't played this game in a while, and I'm super happy to get back into it. Jackson snickers, though quickly shakes his head, stifling it. What? If he was being straight with you, you wouldn't be getting so pissed about this, I think. Straight, as in you two not macking each other. I get it. I sigh, letting myself sink back into the suede fabric of my chair. It automatically reclining for me, the more pressure I put up on it. I'm starting to regret Carl finding out about all this. If he didn't know, it wouldn't be so much of a thing. It would have been easier just to pretend it never even happened in the first place. And I wouldn't have to deal with lying to the guy I loved for most of my teenage life. I'm gonna hit play again if that's alright. I'm staring at the ceiling now, but I can feel them both looking at me. Uh, Go ahead. I'm just gonna close my eyes for a little while, okay? Gotcha, dude. We'll wake you if something cool happens. So we'll wake you in the morning. Gonna get a beer. BRB. I shut my eyes and I hear a trademark cadastral music resume. Not resume, resume. Does this chat have a hug command? Indeed it does. If you do... Yep, that's it. Ah! Big ol' hug to you too. If I had... If I had the whatever you call it trackers, then I would be able to give you a hug. I think Leap Motion Tracker. But yeah, big ol' hug to you. A large paw gently pats my shoulder, followed by an audible hoof clops on the kitchen floor behind me. I stare up at the unmoving ceiling fan above me. In the dark, everything looks all grainy. It seems like the lights are still on, but the dimmer is so low that it might as well not be. Must be a salamander thing. Imagine a porter rob. No! He. Listen, as much as I idolize the guy, he would never ever say that. Like, that would just not happen. You like giving hugs? Yeah, I like giving hugs too. Let me stretch a bit. There we go. I can't do that anymore, IRL. Oh. Well, we'll still give you the heckin' huggies regardless. What if he did? You have to admit it then. See, that's the thing, is that he is complete full anime weeb, so the chances of that ever happening is like a speck to none. Like that would just never happen. Speaking of, him and Carl aren't here anymore. I try to recollect how much time has passed since I closed my eyes. It feels like it was just a minute ago. As I rise to a stand, I feel kind of sluggish for some reason, like my legs are still asleep. My face feels kind of numb too. I always feel worse after taking naps. If he calls you cute, you... Nope. I wouldn't... I, even if he did, let's just say that he did. As much as I idolize him, that would be hard no. And besides, the guy's getting engaged anyway. My face... Oh wait, I already read this. I'm not really sure how I get the appeal of taking them once a day like my mom does. Moving to the nearby window, I squint at my reflection. Oh, Jesus. Oh, me no likey that. Oh, me no likey, me no likey, me no likey, me no likey. I look like hell. And who shaved off my goatee? I blink. It's still not there. I'm not that heavy of a sleeper, so I would have felt someone doing that. I don't think Carl is that cruel, is he? I turn, peering towards Daxon's room. His door is open and his bed is empty. They left me here? Why? My phone vibrates in my pocket. It's Leo. I'm coming. What? I text him back, though I seem to have caught a case of Flynn. My texting dexterity is awful right now. Everyone left. I think I'm alone at Flynn's now. While I'm at it, I also send a quick text to Carl and Flynn asking where they are. A vibrating noise comes from the kitchen after I send Flynn's message. He must have left it when he went out. When I walk in the kitchen, I see the phone propped up against the keyboard on the island countertop that Flynn swatted earlier. The screen's brightness just illuminates everything around it with a picture of my face. It's low resolution, like he cropped it and stretched it himself from one of my social media pictures. The photo is from a class trip I took from my sophomore year to the Cardboard Caverns. I'm wearing a hard hat that doesn't even fit. The way the phone is propped up, it almost looks like it's on display. It's a weird way to place it. I know I shouldn't snoop to his phone, but if he wants to act all mysterious and dismissive, he's leaving me not much choice. Also, someone shaved my goatee off. That warrants enough of an emergency, I guess. I tap the screen and my message appears. I'm asking him where he is and telling him that everyone left. Tapping back, I see one other message. The rest seems to have been deleted. It's from someone named Ryan. He's no given profile picture. The bar is at 33 South Alloway, off Hankley and Route 93. Hankley and 93? I think that's by the casino near the edge of the reservation. I spent most of the day looking at a map of the county, so I think I have a good spatial sense of where it is now. The question is, why did Flynn leave this here with just this message on it? It's like he wanted me to find it. He wanted me to follow him. Jesus, does he think I'm that much of a snoop? Because apparently I am. This time it's my phone that buzzes. Another message from Leo. Hey. Huh? I type a quick response. I have to go. Sorry, Leo. I shove my phone back into my pocket and head outside. It's actually nippy out in comparison to the heat of the day. Sheet clouding covers about half the sky above, and there's a hinge of humidity in the air, which is surprising. We usually get less than an inch of rain this time of year. Wait, look at the reflection in the phone again? Wait. Wait. Hold on. Let me turn up my brightness, because I don't know if... Because I have it set to 50 right now. Oh no! Oh no 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 no! It wasn't obvious when it was like this, but when the phone goes down. Oh no 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 no! I don't like that. Me me no likey. Me no likey. I don't know if that comes across on your guys' side, but holy shit. That is fucking creepy. Me no likey at all. Whew, I actually got chills from that. Ugh. That is genuinely creepy. Okay. Another text? Leo again. Are you serious? I sighed, putting my phone back and getting my keys out. Wait, did it do it again? Wait, go back, go back, go back. Hold on a minute. Because now that's... Oh, okay, so... Yeah, so they do that. Because that was like sort of the reflection that we saw with Chase without the goatee. But the same thing happened with his phone as well. And when he put it down, like I just saw like that was just a normal reflection. That is so creepy. Oh my god. I didn't even notice that at first until you pointed that out. Oh my god. I'll think of something and apologize later. I don't feel nearly as sluggish as I did before, thankfully. Once inside my car, I put the keys in the ignition, enough to keep the lights inside while I fiddle with the GPS. 33 South Alloway. Got it. Looks like it'll be about a 22-minute drive according to this thing. Dude! Where are you going? I look over. Carl and Daxton are staring at me through the passenger window, concerned expressions on their faces. Well, a concerned expression of Daxton's face. Carl just looks drunk. What? Where have you guys been? With you? Why the hell did you guys shave off my goatee? Dude, are you like allergic to Havarti or something? It was actually Gorgonzola. The Havarti Flynn wanted was sketchy. Carl smiles lopsidedly at Daxton. Dastardly. What are you... I reach up to grab my chin, feeling the familiar scruff of dark brown hair upon my paw pads. I feel my heart start to thump heavy in my chest. What the hell? Daxton opens the passenger door. You sure you should be driving? You're kind of wigging out, no offense. I angled the rear view mirror down toward me. Sure enough, there it is on my chin. I... I'm sorry, I could have sworn that it was missing earlier. Well, you were sleeping. Could have been a nightmare. I read about all this stuff online. It's your subconscious playing out your deepest desires, man. Carl slurs some, looking a mix of dazed and chippier. And chipper. I don't think so, Carl. But look, are you guys coming with me? I think Flynn wanted us to follow him. Yeah, we saw the message. They did? I don't know, he's kind of a private guy. If we're wrong, he's going to be pissed. I could think of it like an away mission. Even in the dark, I could practically feel Daxton cringe. Ah, God, Carl. I don't know, I'll go with you. But I'll hang back in the car. I'm still a bit reeling from the whole facial fur fiasco, but the banter is making me feel better. Well, he could be tactical support? This is why I don't usually share my interests with other people. I hope Abuse comes back and does a couple of songs for Arches, the song of Green. Yeah, I actually did go into the SoundCloud a while back for some of like the Echo OSTs, and it's actually pretty good. Like, I would love it if like they had like an Echo EP or an Echo VN novel, because like I know some of the music is just open source, so it's not their music, but some of them they are. I don't know if Bug Boy was part of the music score as well, but if he is, then you know that would definitely be awesome for them to like make like a Echo VN album. Carl clambers into the backseat first, nearly toppling it over. Daxton climbs up the front, a little tipsy, but he seems to have the most of his motor functions intact. Luckily, I don't have classes on Fridays. You did the Carl. Yeah, I actually did see that, because Carl's route is literally named Echo. And then, shoot, what was the other one? I actually have to look. Excuse me for a minute while I go through my music library. Let's see, Bug Boy. I think it was Blurry. Blurry was the song. So Echo and Blurry are the two songs. I squint, trying to peer beyond what is illuminated by my headlights. Driving feels difficult right now. My nerves are kind of fried, tingling beneath my fur. I end up overcorrecting on every slight turn. It doesn't help that the shitty state highway is so meandering and completely devoid of light. Out here, even the main stretches of roads sidewind around the hills and mountains. I guess I'm just used to Pueblo, where they just flatten or tunnel through everything. My issues right now also might be stemming from the fact that I'm still a little inebriated. What other games do you play? We play like some RPG games. We play a lot of music games. Racing games is something that I've been wanting to do for quite a while now. I've been thinking, you know, now that I have the game on here, now that I have the digital copy, we could do like some Forza 5. Need for Speed Heat is also a game that I've been wanting to continue for quite a bit now, because the last time I played Need for Speed Heat was back on my really, really bad laptop, and it wouldn't run at all. And then some other Need for Speed titles that I've been wanting to get back into for a while. But yeah, those are some of the games I play. Mainly a lot of the music. A lot of games that we play are also music focused as well. So you know, if that's your thing, then you've come to the right place. Do you play with viewers? You know what? That is actually something I haven't done in a while. The last time I did that was like on my last birthday stream. I think it was it was all of us playing Among Us, I think. Yeah. The last time I ever did like the playing with viewers thing was on my birthday stream, and we played Among Us. But yeah, it would be fun. to do some of that again. And then playing some Uno as well. I haven't played Uno in a while, so if you guys have that, then we could definitely do that. Just Shapes and Beats is also like a co-op multiplayer game as well. So if you guys want to do that, then we could always try that as well. But yeah, I would definitely love to do like another playing with viewers / community stream again. It's been a really long while. Fuck, I used to be so damn hard on Leo whenever he drank and drive, and now here I am. Maybe I should have brought my meds. Veer right in 1 mile. Chase. Huh? I loosen my grip on the wheel some, peering into the rearview mirror and catching the glint of Carl's green eyes looking back at me. This feels familiar, don't it? I furrow my brow. I'm not sure what he means. We were both just starting high school. Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Carl doesn't respond and a silence follows. He stares out his window with his gaze lulled, his phone sitting idle on his lap. Daxton's looking curiously at us now, though when neither of us speaks up, he goes back to picking at the planet print on his shirt. VR chat with Darken is fun. VR chat is more. I actually did do VR chat the other day. Actually, that was me starting out, starting to stream a bit more again. But yeah, VR chat nights are always a lot of fun. I always love like seeing people come in and, you know, just doing weird, crazy things. Yeah, VR chat nights are definitely a thing that I would love to do. I don't have like a... Here's the thing that I feel bad about, is that I don't have a set schedule on streaming, nor do I have like a specific game of what I want to do for like an entire week worth. So, you know, I'm just sort of all over the place. But that's also something that I need to fix myself. Playing views of the game is a different experience. Yeah, it is. Because, you know, it doesn't... Like, I love the interaction with playing with viewers on stream. So that's something that we do need to bring back. Because again, I think... Because again, the last time I ever did a playing with viewers stream was back in 2021. So last year. I feel kind of like I'm sneaking out to go to a party or something. He looks over at me with a slight smile. Well, we might be. We're gonna arrive at this address and find Flynn in a gimp suit surrounded by a warehouse full of rubber ducks. Cora lets out a quiet rumble of a snicker. Yeah, man, this is all real familiar. What other games could you play with others? Let me check. I gotta check my Steam library. Because I did get Portal as well, but I haven't really played Portal yet. So I kind of want to like play the main storyline first. Let's see. I think Avicii and Vector, that's also multiplayer, I think. Beat Saber? I need to install Beat Saber actually. I might do that after stream. Let's see. What else could you do? You could do some Dead by Daylight. I haven't played that in a while though. But it would be great to come back to it. We could do some Fuser. Let's see. We got Just Shapes and Beats. Marbles on stream. That's another game that I haven't played in a long ass while either. And then pretty much the entire catalog of Need for Speed from Steam before they took it down. Let's see. We got Phasmophobia. And then again, Portal is another option. Project Winter. I remember this. I think we could do some Project Winter. Let's see, what else? We could do some Uno as well. We got Valheim. And then, you know, usual VR chat. And yeah, I think that's it. Let's get quite a few good porter maps. Yeah, I need to start playing like some Beat Saber, because I got gifted the game, but I haven't touched it yet. So that's also something that we need to fix. Past the flat concrete pad where an old gas station once stood. Again, I think Carl's about to speak, but he says nothing. I don't get out much, you know. Around here, there's not much to get out to. The salamander rolls his shoulders and shakes his head. I could always drive to Payton. I got my scooter. Just doesn't feel worth it, you know. I mean, just not gas or monetary reasons. Just isn't comfortable to be away from home. I've got basically everything I need. And I got that Prime delivery account that drops off groceries on my doorstep. It's weird how easy it is to feel like that's normal. I surround myself with TV, books, and video games, and the fact that I'm alone in the middle of the desert doesn't even affect me. You've got Flynn for company, don't you? We keep to our separate sides of the houses usually. Sometimes almost a whole week goes by without me actually seeing him. There's always the internet, dude. You got online friends and all that stuff for gaming, right? Daxton adjusts his seat, giving himself some more legroom. I post on a fan forum pretty regularly. I'm a moderator. Let me guess. For Adastra? Yep. Give me your phone. Daxton blinks. What? Carl makes a grabby motion with his paw toward Daxton. Just give it for 1 second. Phasmo has VR? Yeah, I do know that Phasmo has VR. I haven't played it in VR though. The only times that I played Phasmo was in desktop, and even then, like, I was still scared shitless. Hit me up whenever you need help with setting up mods. Yeah, Ash, if you could help me out with that, then that would be super great. Because I know I need the noodles extension, and I need the Twitch things. I need the things so that I can see like Twitch chat on top of me, and then, you know, just the custom maps in general. Because I kind of want to do that first before launching it up. Or, you know, I guess what we could also do is we could just play like the standard maps. And then, you know, we could start moving on to custom songs. Daxton clutches his cell to his chest, looking uneasily towards the drunken Ram. Don't worry, I'm not gonna go through your messages on nudie pics. Who do you think I am, Chase? That one stings a bit. Ass. Daxton slowly relents, keeping a close eye on Carl as he gives him his phone. He taps at it in silence for about 15 seconds before passing it back. There, got me into contacts. I also put my username for games and stuff if you ever want to play together on PC. Oh, thanks. The salamander quickly checks the screen before looking back to Carl. I'll send you a message or something when I get home if you ever want a game, or if I need to hook up with some ice cream. Carl makes a fluttering noise with his mouth. Ice cream boy at your service, dude, man. Ugh, service. Daxton titters some, shaking his head. I was just kidding with the last part. I would never do that. Hey, not cute, Tobes. I'm not cute, and I never will be. We've been over this. We've been over this plenty of times, mister. The game just get an update to 1.2. Oh, brand new block types, but yeah, playing the vanilla. Yeah, okay. I think that is something that we are gonna have to do then. We're gonna just Discord and screen share if need be. Yeah, that would be a good idea. That would be a good idea so that, you know, like, I can get an idea of what I should do first. And then all that jazz. I just get sick of hearing that all the time. Carl shakes his head even after he begins speaking. Nah, I don't like tell people that shit very often because it's awk, you know? Though I totally will hook you up. I used to do that for Flynn and Leo, but then Flynn went on his old health food bullshit. And Leo? I don't know, he just stopped asking. You're right. My arm stiffened and I swerve onto the off-ramp with more gusto than I meant. I feel the other's eyes on me and I try to act casual. Looks like this is it up ahead. Kind of out in the middle of nowhere, isn't it? This isn't the reservation yet, right? I look toward the horizon and I could just make out the familiar glint of the Blue Diamond Casino past one of the rolling hills. Everything out here is in the middle of nowhere, but no, the reservation is on the other side of the casino. Do you guys ever go there? No, I'm not much for gambling. I bet Gunskins on ranked matches online sometimes. That place is mainly for really old people packed in their RVs. Flynn and I were talking about it the other day. Like, they paint the ceilings all blue sky colored, don't display any clocks, and simulate sunlight inside. Trick the seniors into staying longer. That's messed. Capitalism at its finest, dude man. Is that my nickname now? What? Dude man? It sounds like Daxton. Most people default to Dax. Your destination is ahead in 400 yards. Carl seems like he's about to say something, but quiets as we all see our destination. Bolt, I am not cute. No. Not cute and I never will be. But how's it going? Hope you're having a good evening, night, time zone, wherever you might be. Oh, jeez. I turn off the road, the loosely packed gravel seeming to scatter under my tires. We're here. It's a long red building. The exterior is mostly dilapidated, the wood siding falling apart in places. I see only 2 windows, both of which have colored construction paper blocking the view inside. There's no signage indicating what the hell the name of this place is. Well, at least none right now. Looks like there's some broken neon lettering along the roof's edge, but I can't make anything legible from it. There's about half a dozen cars parked behind the building. Flynn's truck is the only one out front. Just got back from a fur meet? Nice! Hope it all went well, and I hope that you had a lot of fun there too. The salamander reaches into his pocket, and to my surprise pulls out Flynn's phone. When did you grab that? Daxton cocks his head at me, holding up to the phone. Right after we looked at it, I rubbed my forehead. Were Daxton and Carl really inside the house with me earlier, and I just didn't notice them? You okay, Chase? Nervous about talking to Flynn? Just pretend he's in his underwear. Then intimidate him with your erection until he's no longer mad at us for stalking him. The ram nods sagely, giving me a bit of a serene look. I stare back at him. That's how the gays work. I read it on a blog site. He holds it up on his phone. The one with all the gays. I feel myself smirking a little. I'm fine, guys. Just had a weird nap earlier. Still getting my brain unfuzzed. You did have a lot of fun? Ah, that's good to hear. Yeah, I could imagine it would be a lot of fun. I would love to go to one someday. I think if Memory and them are down here again, or if I head up to San Diego again, I could see them. Cool, but Carl looks back towards the building. I'm still gonna chill here in the car. He clears his throat, sitting up more upright. You know, tactical support. Daxton covers his face with his dark hands. Cadet Hunter and Lieutenant Daxton, prepare to beam out. Thanks, Captain Carl. Make sure to scan for life signs and report. Oh, who did the thing? Bull! Thank you so much. Welcome to the Blood Pack. Mwah. Thank you so much for the follow, Bolt. Make sure to scan for life signs and report any anomalies. Oh god. Daxton exits the car in embarrassment. Oh no, man! Lieutenant Daxton is beamed out too early. His particles are destabilizing. Jesus, I hear enough of the stuff moderating the roleplay subform. I don't need to hear this IRL. As I I genuinely wonder, like, do people actually like see stuff like this on like subreddits and stuff? Because if so, then I feel really bad for some people who have to read like some of the curse shit that they see. By the way, before I get off stream, just want to. Yeah, he is. Yeah, Stinky too. Yeah, we'll add Stinky to the list. He walks up to one of the front windows, seemingly trying to peer inside one of the gaps of the construction paper. I open the door, about to head out when I feel Carl's paw on my shoulder. Hey, man. I blink some, looking back at him. The parking lot light overhead gives his first a sort of orangey appearance, and his eyes look blue. Huh? You've been, like, really quiet tonight. I know you haven't been around, I haven't been around you in 2 years, but you're still acting, I don't know, weird from what I remember. Carl, just don't worry, okay? He looks to the building. You know how he gets, but overall, Flynn's cool. He leans back in his seat, pulling up his phone. The illuminating blue glow of the screen replaces the faint orange of the streetlight. Just don't tell him I said that. I exhale, smiling despite myself. Alright, Carl. Nah, I think it's the truth, Tobes. I turn around, pausing. I know you have your interview, but we should talk later. Catch up properly. You know it, man. And I'm glad you're getting on well with Daxton, truly. I see him grinning in the rearview mirror. It's weird, he's like someone I meet online, but in real life, you know? I'm not sure I follow. Eh, don't worry about it. Don't get murdered in there. I smirk dryly. I'll try not to. You know, it is pretty cool that in like this part of the story that Carl is finally like getting out, because I feel like even in Carl's path, it didn't seem like he really went out much, and it didn't really seem like he had like a lot of character build up to him. But like in this path and Flynn's path, he's like really open now, and he actually does have a lot of dialogue that I like. I step out and nearly close the door on my tail. Must have been more distracted than I thought. Seeing Daxton against the side of the building, I can't help but think he looks downright eerie. He doesn't have scales like Flynn, so he just looks like this rubbery black color that blends into the shadows, as specious as that sounds. When he turns towards me, his eyes stick out like headlights in the night. Hey Chase, check this out. He beckons me over toward a small metal sheet by the door. I step closer. Some words are engraved in the front. So you've heard of us. A winky, smiley face is pictured below the text. What the hell? I know, right? He moves towards the door, his thick tail flickering in anticipatory sway behind him. I'm surprised that he can control that thing. Watch it be locked. Might as well try. After you, Lieutenant. Don't start. He grasps the handle, and the door opens with ease. Jackson looks over to me once more as we step inside. The smell of decades worth of cigarette smoke and dust hits my nose instantly. Jackson coughs, trying to muffle himself as we see the shadows of various patrons through the dimly lit bar. Everything near the counter is illuminated up with a sort of green tinge, while the rest of the establishment has red lighting. Well, in the places it does have lighting, I've never been inside a restaurant or a bar this dark before. The walls are mainly decorated with the faded 1950s beer adverts, and a mounted CRT monitor near the entrance looks to be streaming an old cricket match. I don't see any bartenders or waiters. Nobody's behind the bar. Huh. Daxon half speaks and half whispers. Maybe we should take a seat so it doesn't look like we're gawking. Yeah, that's a good idea. We move towards the closest table to the entrance. The location leaves us completely enshrouded in darkness. There's a lamp above us, but it looks broken, the copper wiring hanging out where the bulb is supposed to go. I haven't seen Flynn yet. Have you? It's hard to see in here. I sort of assumed salamanders had better night vision. No, not yet. Squinting, I try to get my eyes to adjust to the darkness. Two large figures get up from their bar stools and head towards the pool table, each grabbing a cue. They both appear to be equine, middle-aged and male, decked out in polo shirts and slacks. The two wouldn't look out of place on a country club greenway, but here they stand out. They stand out something fierce. I realize that there is a much smaller person behind them, a fennec girl with a big lathe head fur that goes down to her shoulders. One of them, the one in the teal polo with the beer gut, sets out a rack of pool balls on the table. The other horse with the red polo and graying muzzle first speaks up, shaking his head and pointing toward the balls in the triangle. I can't make out everything, but it sounds like he's insisting that the 8-ball always goes on top. The teal-shirted one lets out a dismissive noise, making a point of placing the 8-ball somewhere in the center of the rack. I feel my phone buzz in my pocket. Quickly reaching it down, I check the message. It's from Leo. We're all gonna hang out at your old hood tomorrow at 2. Would be good if you came. I sigh. That same welling of guilt takes hold of my chest like stones in my ribcage. More text from the evil ex? I glance up at Dexton in surprise, the salamander having turned to face me. Again, I'm wrought with how fucking eerie his bright eyes sticking out in the blackness and staring right at me is. He's not evil. You folk all get super antsy every time he texts you. Like, an ex is just that, an ex. You don't gotta worry about them anymore. Daxton crosses his forearms and rests them on the table for a moment before hastily putting them back. He grimaces, wiping his arms on the fabric of his shirt. Looking down, I can see that it's been a while since the surface table has been properly wiped down. There's no napkins in sight either. I peer at the message again, trying to think of what to say in response. Well, the circumstances are kinda different here. He's been one of my closest friends since I was really young, and when I left town for college, we never actually broke up. Oh, the skin on his face pulls tighter, though I can't make out what expression he's making. So he's not actually your ex then? Oh, we haven't been together in 3 years. Hell, before we took this trip, I haven't even spoken to him in at least 12 months. That's not exactly true at all now, is it? The heavy feeling in my chest grows stronger. Look, I don't have time to go over the past 15 years of our relationship. He holds up the flat of his rubbery palms. Sorry, I'm just trying to get to know you and all. He turns back around, smooth chase. I type back my reply to Leo. I'll be there. The sound of belled laughter from the pool table catches my attention. The red poloed equine slaps the back of the smaller fennec, who looks to have just made a pretty nice shot. Her head flutters in front of her face and then slips right off, falling on the pool table. A wig. I realize that now the fennec isn't actually a girl at all, at least not physically. Daxton saw it as well, and we exchange a brief glance. The two men don't seem to pay much mind outside of a brief chuckle. Behind them, a red light flicks on and another group becomes visible at the table to their rear. There's a 30-something German shepherd with pompadour cut head fur and a black muscle shirt stretched taut over his large chest. He's watching the billiards game intently. His arm is around the back of a seat next to him, and in that seat is Flynn, staring right at me. Fuck. God, how long has he been there? Could he see us the whole time? Daxton sees him too, the salamander forcing a toothy smile and waving at his roommate from across the bar. Flynn doesn't wave back. He just keeps staring. The seconds pass and nothing happens. We just sit here and he sits there, and neither of us moves. Eventually, Daxton pushes himself up to his feet, and I reluctantly follow suit. Everything goes quiet as we make our way to the other table. I feel a tingling sensation around my whiskers as that goes all the way back to my spine. I don't belong here. Lizards, right? I can't tell if the pool table group is looking at me, but it feels like they are. Whoa! Holy shit, okay. Well, holy shit, would you look at that? An otter in my water. The German Shepherd speaks up with an accent that sounds way more West Coast than Southwestern. He drops his arm from Flynn's chair, beaming at me with his reddish-brown eyes. The canine turns his attention towards Daxton, eyeing him over. The salamander has his hands folded together, smiling nervously. And Daxton! Daxton blinks. Evening. Have we met? The man chuckles. Nah, but I've seen you before. Whenever you come over to Scaly Boy's house here, you're always in your room like all loner-like. Flynn's slitted gaze flicks back to Daxton to me. His expression seems to harden before my eyes. What the fuck are you doing here? His scaled fingers curled up into a fist briefly before unfurling, the large lizard fidgeting in his seat. His tie is gone, and he's unbuttoned most of his shirt. Okay, play this cool, Chase. Found your phone with the invite to this place. It was all propped up and everything. I say that last part with a bit of an accusing tone. Flynn narrows his eyes slightly. Invite? You didn't tell me you were bringing some friends. That's a first. The shepherd grins again. Tension so thick that you could cut it with a knife that doesn't seem to dissuade his cheery demeanor. I didn't. He makes an acknowledging grunt, his eyes flicking between us for a moment. Well, I'm Ryan. You know Flynn, and I know Daxton, so who are you? Okay, so this boy is Ryan. He looks at me expectant. Before I can speak, Flynn does. Chase. His tone is terse, bordering on outright warning. Chase! Ha! Fucking otters are cute as hell. Like you got your wee stubby fingers, plus you're all squeaky and shit. I blanched, not sure whether to be flattered or offended. I looked down at my fingers. Ryan just grins, the red light glistening upon the enamel of his fangs. Take a seat, you two. Good to see Scaly Boy actually has friends. Daxton looks down at one of the red fabric chairs with a wary demeanor. Well, as long as they're not too sticky. This elicits a darky, crackling cackle from the dog. It's part of the charm. Oh? much like yours? Oh ho 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 ho, fuck me. Good one. I take a seat across from Flynn, who is now staring at a wall. Glancing over, I noticed that Daxton had been standing with his hands folded behind his back, his posture completely vertical, just like Captain Amicus does at Adastra. The salamander scoots past and takes a seat beside me. He fishes out Flynn's phone from his pocket and slides it over to him across the table. Flynn looks at it for a good 3 seconds before snatching it and shoving it back into his pocket. You're welcome. I didn't ask for this. Daxton just shrugs indifferently. Flynn looks back at me again, his expression less tense but still a frown. Hi. A quiet yet shrill-toned voice peeps up from behind us. Turning, I see the gender-ambiguous fennec fox from earlier. They quickly walk past us, tugging lightly on Ryan's shirt. They mumble something I can't quite make out, and Ryan practically coos back at the little fennec. He reaches up, squeezing their waist, and they make a little erp noise. Ryan pulls out his wallet, withdrawing a few bills and hands them to the fox. The middle-aged horse duel walks up as well, keys a grasp. The one with the red polo bumps into the fennec, resting a hand on their shoulder. They flinch initially, before a sheepish smile forms upon their lips. The fennec spins around clumsily, nearly topping over the table. The older male catches them and keeps them in place. Easy now, desert cutie. They wrap up their arms around the equine girthy mid. Oh, Jesus. Oh, you want some money for the... Wait, is this gonna turn spicy? At least this is sort of what it feels like. Oh, you want some money for something from the bar, sweetheart? Don't know where the tender's gone and ran off to. Red Polo fetches a $20 bill for the fox, placing it in the little one's maw. They're treating him like a youngling, but the fox looks to be at least 30 years old from the sagging out their face, its blotchy fur. Of fucking course, Casey's doing that bidding war bullshit again. Flynn takes a swig of his booze. The older men stare at him, suddenly looking a bit uneasy. Red Polo turns, trying to usher Casey away toward the main counter. However, the fox seems to resist. They squirm, quickly writhing out of the equine's grasp and stumbling their way towards Flynn, nearly crawling on top of Ryan to do so. Everyone seems to freeze in place as the fox pushes her muzzle up close to Flynn's. Flynn looks dull-eyed back at the fennec. I don't got any money for you. It's okay, just want to make you feel less grumpy. They look at each other, saying nothing. Flynn parts his lips slightly, and the fox pushes their face against his, maws meeting in a deep kiss. His eyes go wide for a moment, then shut tight, returning the affection just the same. My heart feels like it stops, and my sweat goes cold. I feel sick. I feel like I want to puke or something. I mean, I had a sort of deep, gnawing feeling since I saw Ryan's armor on Flynn, but I guess I wasn't prepared for something so visceral. But I don't do anything, I just sit there and watch. Ryan, meanwhile, grasps the fox's ear, grinning in the Cheshire way that he does. Good to see you're not sourpussing the whole night, Flynn. Are you kidding me right now? Fucking whore. Red Polo turns, leaving his friend behind and making his way towards the exit with a few huffed swears. The teal-poloed male, who's some sort of Shire Clydescil type, I'm hoping I'm saying that right, watches him leave but doesn't follow. This is the married man. Casey pulls back from Flynn, a string of saliva still hanging from between their lips. Flynn's nostrils flare as he exhales upon the fox's face. This seems to set Casey off, and they kiss him again with even more ferocity. Daxton's looking at me now, his eyes wide. The salamander silently mounts it. What the fuck? I don't even have the capacity within me to respond with anything other than a curt nod. Wow, putting on a show for the new friends? Teal Polo's looking down at Daxton and I now. Well, noting the festivities. You youngins want a drink or something? I'm Mike. No, we're good. I'll have 2 doubles of whatever tequila is the cheapest. Mike blinks. I'll be right back then, kid. Let me find the bartender. Rob's back in the smoke room. Oh, smoke room. I like that. Another reference to the one game that I probably will not be able to play on stream. He uses his free hand, the one that's not currently groping Fox ass, and points towards a wooden door in the corner of the room by a potted plastic saguaro? I think that's how you say that. The smoke room? Mike gives Ryan an uneasy look, and I get the impression from his demeanor and the casino wristband that he's wearing that he isn't local. Well, I'll be right back then. He forces a smile before turning and heading toward the aforementioned smoke room. Ryan crosses his legs, letting his head roll from side to side before speaking up. I think we should head there too, right, Flynn? Flynn and the Fennec part lips again. The guy that looks at me before responding. Alright. Man, what's wrong with you two? All eyes shift to Daxton now. Flynn grunts. You don't get to fucking judge, creep ass. Watching me jerk off at night, but can't stand the sight of me mouthing on someone? For fuck's sake. The round-faced salamander's jaw goes slack. Ooh, you've been busted, Daxton. Watching and not helping out is a real grave offense. What the hell are you even talking about? Daxton looks at me. I say nothing, thinning my lips. You know what I'm talking about. I truly don't. Hey, let's not play he said, she said, alright? Daxton, Chase, you like to party? The dog reaches into his pocket. The Fennec turns from Flynn, biting their lip as they begin to lean on Ryan's shoulder. They wiggle their hips in a manner that Flynn gets a face full of fuzz. The guy lays sputtering a bit. I'm reminded of a long bus ride home with Jenna and Flynn back in junior high. Not that Jenna acted anything remotely like Casey, though. Flynn would be the aggressor, pulling on her fur and making native jokes until Jenna would donk him right in the nose with a biology textbook. Ryan withdraws a small plastic baggie with about 6 tiny white spheroid dots inside. They kind of look like that expensive pebble ice cream they sell at the theme parks. Dippin' Dots? I think that's what they're mentioning here, Dippin' Dots. I'd always wish Carl's parents would start selling that stuff, but they said it was just a gimmick and that it doesn't make the ice cream taste better. He opens the little baggie, placing one of the pebbles on the eager Fennec's tongue than his own. The German Shepherd rises up to his feet. He's large, almost about as tall as Leo. He extends out the baggie to Daxton and I. Before we can respond, Flynn interjects, swiping the baggie and closing it before handing it back to Ryan. Yeah, nah, fucker. You decided for that? Bit rude, my man. This shit ain't addictive unless you're depressed or something. Daxton's got a heart condition, and I'm fucking pretty sure that Chase got drug tests for summer internships to worry about. Oh, so I think those are edibles or something. Probably. Daxton crosses his arms over his chest. Yeah, I'm good. Candy from strangers and all the whole business too. Speaking of, Mike comes out from the corner door with 2 drinks in his grasp. He has a sort of blank expression as he sets them down in front of me. You have fun back there? Ryan quickly deposits the baggie into his trousers, pushing his chair in. Flynn stands up as well. Didn't have time for fun. Had to tend to Kid Boozy here. Kid Boozy? That sounds like one of them urban rap types. You spit rhymes, Chase? Ryan chuckles. I look down at myself, then back up. Fuck no, he doesn't. I seen Chase do cowboy poetry back in school. Not a pretty sight. He looks back at me, seemingly uncaring of the fact that Casey's now all up in Ryan and not him. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna take a drink real quick, as my throat is starting to get dry. Okay, there we go. I remember you and Carl got up in Dadio about alien abductions and anal probing in the desert, and the principal got so pissed. I let out a little huff as the memory comes back to me. I'm surprised that he remembers that. Yeah, it didn't start off that way, but UFO rhymed with lasso, and it was all downhill from there. Anal probes, eh? Ryan grins, reaching over and slugging my shoulder. His angle is off, so it looks more like a tap than a punch. Daxton lets out a slightly exasperated noise. That was your takeaway from the conversation? You sound like you've got a probe or two up yours, Daxton. Or lack thereof. Daxton closes his eyes and rubs the flat of his nose, still looking a bit flustered from Flynn's accusation earlier. I clear my throat, speaking up toward the towery Iguin beside me. Thank you, sir. I give the large horse a nod of appreciation before taking a hearty glug of one of the glasses. Oh my god, this fucking burns. My muzzle pulls into a grimace as I try to swallow as much as I can. Eyeing the glass, I only got a fourth of the way down the double. Guess I'm the designated driver now. Ryan back towards the door to the aforementioned smoke room. Hey, you all want to join? We're good, Ryan. Flynn basically pushes Ryan's back, shuffling the seemingly attached Casey along with. A long silence follows, and all three of us watch them until they disappear behind the faded wooden door. Let out a long exhale, then place my face in my paws. I don't know what he meant when he said I watched him jerk off. What the hell is he talking about? I can hear the creaking of the seat across from me. Mike must be sitting down with us. I would take it as the highest compliment if someone was watching me beat off. I'm never leaving my room again. I'm assuming you youngins are also new to this dusky establishment, is that right? Mike speaks as in a sort of southern drawl cadence. That's more bayou than prairie. And if you ain't gonna drink that, kid, I'll gladly finish that for you. I uncover my eyes, slowly reaching for the glass of auburn liquid and bringing it again to my lips. The second time doesn't hurt as much, and I manage to swallow another fourth without any tears. Yeah, this is the first time for me. How did you find out about this place? He crosses his arms, leaning back into his seat. The chair creaks in an audible protest to his weight. I was about to ask the same thing of you two. I was only wondering what cute pups like you two would be doing in a place like this. I got a couple meetings down here in Payton, so I stopped by the casino for a few hours with this one-armed bandit. So I have one of them sex applications you download to your cell phones, right? Downloaded that all by yourself, did you? Daxon comments dryly. Well, I can't exactly get my nephew to help me out with that one now, could I? It could, it would just be very awkward, much like this whole night. Daxon's staring at the wood granite. Yeah, that's what I'm also noticing. This story is starting to get really, really awkward. Bit rough, yeah? Well, anyway, I was on this application and this fella starts chatting me up. The huffy one I was just with. He's also staying at the casino. He suggested we come down here for some fun, so I followed suit. Place is packed with fennec folk earlier. They all went back there, though. He points toward the corner door. So this is a place for gay guys, right? That's probably the case. That's okay. That okay with you? A slight smile curls up on the edge of Mike's maw, and Daxton is brought to a brief stutter. I don't give a care, you know? You do you and I'll do me. Maybe I'll do you too, hey? Oh my god. Daxton looks like he's been slapped, his tail coiling inward. Mike just chuckles in a bassy rumble. Oh boy, that straightened your curls, didn't it? Did you download all that by yourself? Ha! You sassy little shit. My phone vibrates. Is that a hail from Tactical? Daxton says that as if it's physically painful for him to utter those words. Mike's expression shifts, and he looks curiously at the salamander. I check my phone, and it's from Flynn. Come to the smoke room alone. Huh. The empty feeling that had taken hold of me seems to alleviate some, and is quickly replaced by a whole new sort of anxiety. Maybe he's not leaving me high and dry after all, but what the fuck is he doing? I like to think that Dax keeps in contact with Mike. You know what? Sorta, yeah. Like, I like all these like new characters coming in and being introduced to us. It's a reference. I hold up my phone. Flynn wants me to talk with me. Flynn wants to talk to me, I think. Never straightforward with him, is it? I don't know how kids watch. I didn't know kids still watch the Dastra. Oh! Dax's attention snaps so quickly back to Mike, it's almost comical. I'll be right back. You can text Carlos something and ask him if he wants to come in. I push myself up to the stand, realizing my legs feel kind of weak. I hadn't noticed much of it at the time, but they were shaking earlier, something fierce. There's a no smoking sign hanging from the corner door. A little irony, I guess. With a low breath and a straightening of my shirt, I pull the handle and step inside. Fire Tiger, I'm not adorable, and I never will be. We've been over this, you dork. We've been over this plenty of times. What is this? Holy heckin' hecky. My feet touch what feels like bare soil. With a quick check, I realized the floors are wood, just laden with a layer of dust, grime, and peanut shells. The smell of spilled beers, cigarettes, and sweat is a combination of the lice I've never smelled stronger. I turn and Ryan's only a few feet in front of me, standing in the middle of the room with Casey. Oh, Flynn is next to him, his shirt open and belt undone. The lights pulsate on and off at the frequent intervals. Everything goes from pitch black to lit up bright, and of course, there's not a window to be seen. Oh yes, I can probably see where this story is going. Oh boy. I hear ambient voices around me, a decent amount of people I hear. And most of them are completely naked. Behind Flynn, gay porn plays on a crooked mounted television screen. Speakers and subwoofers rumble with the bassy drone of bizarre music. Silhouettes of people dance in a limp daze. The flickering lights made the shapes look like ragdolls, flailing in stop motion. The lights begin to strobe red and it's overpowering to the senses. Too much to bear. I grab the end of my tail, squinting through the actual smoke. Flynn? My voice comes out more pathetic than intended. The music is so intense that I can't tell if I'm being loud or quiet. Everything goes black again. I hear a clap and a cry, followed by a baritone voice. This is what you want! Did Flynn say that? There's a giant glint in the darkness, and I know it's Flynn's eyes. He's not looking at me. His eyes may be aimed at my general direction, yet he's not actually looking at me. I love this part of the game. My jaw was on the floor since Flynn was I was hooked. Really? Okay. So this could possibly be the best scene in this story. But the guy behind him is. Oh, fuck yeah. Ryan cranes his neck to him, looking at me with a big ol' grin. His long tongue hangs out to the side of his mouth. Oh, hey, Chase, come here. I've never been beckoned by a guy recently, current balls deep inside someone else. I'm pretty hesitant to obey. Flynn turns away from the duo facing me. His expression sort of reminds me of how we got down to his aunt while talking with him to City Hall. Okay, so I think this is probably why Smoke Room is a different thing. Because I can imagine Smoke Room is going to be a lot more graphic than this. His eyes are a little more open than usual, and his jowls are pulled back along the side of his snout to show his teeth. So, you showed up. Flynn limply gestures to his surroundings right as Ryan bucks hard enough to Casey to lick a loud moan. Casey curls her feet against Ryan's own, the only clothing on the body being striped by high fabric, tights of some sort. Ryan, meanwhile, is still fully clothed aside from his red prick sticking out from his fly, and into Casey. A small crowd is gathered at the left side of the room around something. Can't make out what, but there's more moaning in that direction as well. Flynn's attention seems solely on me, despite everything happening around him. This is where spicy stories start coming in. Like, this is why I labeled this stream as possibly spicy story. He's waiting on me to say something. I step forward, letting go of my tail. Suddenly, Casey grabs Flynn's shirt, nearly yanking him over. You now. Flynn blinks, turning to speak briefly to the Fennec. Just give me a minute. Hold on, I'm gonna do 2 saves here. I'll play it cool. I dip my paws into my pocket, putting on the most lax posture I can manage. Whoa! Holy heck! Oh my gosh! Hi! Heckin' Blake with a rate of 8. Blake, hello, hello, welcome on in. Raiders, hello, hello. Welcome on in. Yes, what? Indeed, what a time to raid. Blake and Raiders, welcome on in. My name is Spitfire the Wolf, and welcome to the stream. Let's see, how do I say this? I haven't done an introduction in so long. Well, my name is Spitfire. I'm a DJ, and you know, a small-time Twitch streamer. I'm just getting back into it. We play a lot of music-focused games, so if you like music, then you've come to the right place, actually. We do some visual novels like this one. We do some horror, some VR chat. Hopefully, like some more like VR related things. Uh, it's like some puzzle games from time to time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty avatar? Oh, thank you. You too heckin' kind. Let's see, you were playing Gunfire Reborn? Ooh. Sounds pretty cool. And at I don't know how to say your name, I'm sorry, but we are playing Echo, which is a psychological furry horror visual novel. But no, don't call me cute. Don't call me cute. Call Blake cute. Don't call me cute. But this side of the story, you guys have joined in at an interesting time because we are in a very, very spicy scene. We're getting deep into some spicy stuff right now. You're gonna have a lurk? Alrighty. Well, yeah, thanks for stopping by. And then I'm gonna do a Discord plug there, if you guys would like to join that. Yes, Blake, thank you so much for rating. How was Gunfire Reborn? How was it, you cutie? Wow, must be a slow night. Flynn's eyes widen. It's as if an enormous weight had just fallen from his shoulders. A rare yet familiar wry smile crosses his muzzle. He turns back to me and saunters over, his heavy footfalls making the wood creak with each step. He places an elbow on my shoulder and moves to stand next to me. You can't keep your nose in your own business, you know that? Well, I am a journalist. You two, gonna leave you hanging over here with this one? Okay, so yeah, again, we are in a very, very, very spicy scene right now. So, yeah. Ryan rests his heavy chin on the crew in Casey's shoulder, giving Flynn and I puppy eyes even when he bounced. Yeah, you two look like you got it covered. So did you leave? So you did leave that phone out for me to find it. Flynn rolls his head some, as if debating speaking further. Finally, he looks back down to me. Didn't expect you to bring my fucking roommate. That's awkward as shit, and now I gotta deal with the fallout of all of this when I get home. You're the one that accused him of watching you masturbate after making out in front of us. I'm pretty fucking sure he did, or at least someone was. He doesn't seem like the kind of person to do that. And you never struck me as the sort of person who'd be this cool with hanging around a fuck shop like this. We did lean our backs against one of the walls near the entrance. Looking around, I noticed that the clientele seems to mainly fall within two groups: Fennec natives and middle-aged men. Most of them look like generic dads, which makes Flynn's presence here all the more strange. What the hell even is this place, Flynn? Okay, so just out of curiosity, so I'm gonna save that there, and then I'm gonna load up this save and see what the other dialogue says. This is fun. I pushed my paws into my pockets. God, how the hell did I go from watching old sci-fi shows with Carl and Daxton to this? Sorry, wrong door. I turn quickly, trying to figure out the weird twisty door handle to get out of here. I hear the rustling of fabric and the jingling of a loose belt. A hand grasps my shoulder, and judging from the orange and black pattern, it's Flynn. Oh. Despite the words, he sounds worried? I clear my throat, trying not to sound too freaked out. Well, you know me, snoopy journalist. Don't worry, this isn't going in the report. Oh. Okay, yeah, so that's just the same. Okay. There's a huge difference with the choices. Is there? Okay, well shit, we're gonna have to... I might go back on that then. Tits if I know. It's fucking something though, ain't it? It's real. There's a flicker of grin on Flynn's face before the lights come back on. It's real something, alright. They don't affect the rest of the route after this day. Alright, so I assume that this just changes the dialogue then, if that's the case. Ryan showed me it along a while ago. It was so fucking gross. 4 old ass beavers with balls down to the knees rutting in the corner. And you came back? Hey, this ain't fucking ritzy ass Pueblo where there's 12 gay bars within 10 miles equipped with cheap beer and blowjob dispensers. You get bored. And lonely? Flynn grunts and I feel the weight on my shoulder intensify some. So, Ryan's your friend? Only slightly? Okay. I might come back to that after this. The music gets loud for a moment so we don't speak. He's the friend that's not going to be leaving in 3 days, so he's the friend. A pang hits my chest as the reality of our situation dawns on me, and I go quiet. I thought, fuck it, we might as well get all the baggage out and show you what I'm apparently all about and shit. You're all seedy? You're all about seedy sex clubs? Well, it's just, I can't exactly go telling anyone else in the group about this shit. Oh yeah, Jenna, I was out at the bar off the res and she was fucking some of your people the other night. How you doing? I find myself snickering, though coughing a bit from the smoke. People smoking inside and the lack of adequate ventilation are making my eyes water. Gosh, she's already furious at you. TJ, you know what that you know what sounding is? Cause, oh my... It took me some time. Boy, you guys are in for a treat. It only affects the rest of the route slightly, but it has a big impact on the specific scene. Okay. No way. You don't actually do that, do you? The large guy let her rums. I wasn't the one getting it in my dick if that's what you're asking. I'm a lizard. That's disgusting. I'm trying my best to censor this as much as I can, but the text is already there. Flynn chitters a bit himself. He doesn't usually laugh at his own jokes, and his tone is actually a bit sheepish. So that's where my missing handheld stylus went. Nah, that was probably Carl. I used one of your parents' cantaloupes for getting back off in junior high, though. Don't remember if I threw it away or not. Again, that wry smile resurfaces. Can't say I've ever seen Flynn so damn beamy. I'm aghast, unsure of whether he's being serious or not, though I might as well counter him. Uh-huh. You sure it wasn't one of the cucumbers? Nah, they weren't big enough for me. To my surprise, he reaches down and passes in front of my crotch. Okay. Okay, hold on. Right, like I said, spicy stories, so just to make sure that I spare all you innocent beans, I'm probably going to read this entire thing myself. I'm not going to read it out loud. Lame? What do you mean lame? Listen, there's a thing called TOS here. There's a thing called TOS around Twitch, and like, if I show this to people, then most likely I might get banned from this. I might be banned from Twitch. So that's why I need to at least do my best to make sure that innocence is still somewhat here. Right, but like, I'm pretty sure you guys can hear, I guess, sort of the thing that's going on. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so we just fell on the ground right now. Oh, fuck, you okay? You just ate shit real hard. He seems to notice the spot. Oh, Oh, Jesus. Ugh. I try to ignore it. Ugh. Yeah, I'm okay, I think. Flynn offers an orange splotch hand. I grasp it. I can still salvage this. Yup. Okay. I listen. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. In any in what world? In what world would I be curious to be not innocent minded? Listen, we are good boys here. Okay? I don't know what you mean when I chose let's do this. Let's get out of here. That's what the let's do this is. That's pretty much what it is. It's nothing. You can't say shit about me. What do you mean? We are very good boys here. we are we are very good boys here. We're good boys and gals. We are good bleppers here. Yes, there were two choices, and one of them was to get out, and that is the choice that I went with. That is the choice that I went with. Right. No, you didn't. Chase would have booked it if you did. Exactly. That's exactly what is happening. We're booking through a crowd of people. We're booking through a crowd of people here. Okay. There's there's def- there's nothing to see here. There's nothing to see here at all. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I, I'm moving myself through the crowd, and I am. Listen, there is a bunch of things happening around us right now that is not appropriate for stream. So that's why I have all of us on the intermission screen. It's that simple. See? Look. See? Look, now we move on to the next day. We move to Friday. See, nothing happened at all. Nothing ever happened. Okay? Nothing ever happened. We have 4 save slots here for choices to come back to later. Now, I mean, yeah, that is what happened, but I just didn't want to show it on stream because again, we are 100% good boys, or we're 100% good bleppers, and as I am a good blepper, I don't show that on stream. So any go back and choose that this is fucked. Okay. Okay. Let me make it. Oh wait, I already made a save slot here. Okay, I think it was this one. This is fucked. Okay, so we watched, so we read a few of these already. Okay, yeah, so this is. You never struck me as the sort of, I think this is new. And you never struck me as the sort of person who would be dumb enough to bring him along when I try to make it damn clear I just wanted you. I blink. Wanted me? He ushers me back against one of the walls near the entrance. Looking around, I notice that the clientele is. Okay, yeah. What the hell even is. Okay, yeah. Oh. Oh. No, we read this. He looks at me, okay, yeah, so this is where it's different. He looks at me, seeming to be judging the expression on my face. Fucking sleazy dumb. There's a flicker of smile on Finn's face before the lights come back on. It's laden with a tinge of nervousness. With everything illuminated, I can finally see what that small crowd is all gathered around. There's an actual tiger in the middle. The guy must be weighed 300 pounds. On his paws and knees in front of him is a rather chubby fennec, large for his species as well. Ash, what do you mean? What do you mean that's horny? We don't do the horny here. We are pure good boys here. And that never happened. Because, again, we are 100% good beings here. And we would never do that. There's a jar of lard next to him in the tiger's paws. There's literally some... Yep, I know. I wasn't going to comment on with you and your fragile mental state and whatnot. He sniffed, staring ahead while looking tight-lipped. How'd you even find this place? Okay, yeah. Bup. Okay, yeah, so this is... Okay, yeah, so this is, like, sort of the same. Oh. Again, Flynn fidgets. I can't say I've ever seen Flynn so damn antsy. I'm aghast and unsure whether he's being serious or not, though I might as well counter him. Look, you obviously ain't warming to the scene back here. That's an understatement. So if we're gonna have a talk, and I ain't pushing you one way or another for this shit, let's do it outside. I'm not sure what he means by talk. In fact, I doubt he's even sure what he means by talk. Ash! Shush! We do not do the things here. Listen, when I put us in an intermission, there was nothing to see. See, there was just things happening around us that I don't show on stream because you know what? That's what good beans do. We don't do the things. We don't do the naughty. We do good bean activities only, and there was nothing for you to see there whatsoever. Believe the blab. I'll believe it. See, that's blackmailing now. That's blackmailing and bullying. You can't make me say something that isn't true. It literally beat that. No, it didn't. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean in any form. Dr. Flynn? Oh. Talk to Flynn? That's right. Alright, man, I'm okay, but that sounds fine. Flynn gives me a dubious expression. I feel him squeeze my shoulders some. Where are you two going? Ryan calls out from across the room, mid-thrust into Casey's behind. A few people actually turn their heads, looking at us. Flynn hesitates for a moment before grunting and shouting back. We're gonna go shit in each other's mouths. I blink. Flynn tugs my shoulder and we hastily leave the smoke room. Yeah, see? See? Nothing to see here. Okay, let me recenter myself again. Of course, you fucking brought Carl too. We come to a stop just outside the building next to a small wash that winds by the parking lot. It's amazing how fresh the air tastes in contrast to the inside, though I feel the smoke in my fur even now. No, I am not cute and I never will be. We have been over this, Ash. We have been over this. No, you're not supposed to be bad. You're supposed to be good. We're we're in my court here, mister. And on my court, I'm not cute and I never will be. And I have evidence to back that up. Bottoms on my feet are also stickier from the sources I'd read. For some reason I'm a bit shaky, like it's cold or something. It still feels about 60 degrees out here though. The guy crosses his arms over his chest. His expression remains indiscernible, though his demeanor is twitchier than normal. So am I though. So you and Carl are like best friends? Why are you so upset that he's here? Flynn frowned. I told you earlier, dipshit. This wasn't supposed to be some big ass gathering. Never thought I'd say this, but you seem like you're ashamed or something. Which, I mean, makes sense. This place is like... Flynn cants his head some, already defensive. What? Like, stuff you'd read about, stuff that doesn't actually exist. Flynn waved dismissively, making a sort of disgruntled noise. I don't know what you want, Chase. I got a feeling about what you think you want, but not really what you want. Or, what you think you want, but not what you really want. So tell me. Think what you want to... Tell me what you think what you want, and we'll go from there. Alright, tit dirt? I dip my paws into my pockets, not sure what to say. I'll never forget that you put up this innocent, wholesome... Yeah, I picked the let's do this so that we could go back into the outside rooms so that we could go outside. But see, there's just a lot of things happening around us because we stayed in there for a bit, but there was a lot of activity around us. So therefore, I made sure to cover it up on the intermission screen because I am a good boy, and that's what I do for y'all. So, I guess we're not gonna shit in each other's mouths then. He snarks, though stifles him quickly. He knows I'm dodging. Look at me. Flynn bumps his knuckle beneath my chin to ease my head up. I flinch instinctively. I realize my nerves are more shot than I thought. Calm your shit. He drops his hand. I see his gaze flick to the side, then back to me. Please? I catch his... Oh! I let out a big breath of air, tugging some at the fabric in my pockets. The only person I've ever did things with prior to this break was Leo. I'm not really ready for this sort of stuff, you know? I mean, Jesus Christ, I didn't even think you were ready for all that, and you're... Flynn, the giant slut. Yeah, I know. We joked about that sort of stuff in there when we were kids. I didn't actually think you'd go this far. Okay, hold on. You're telling me you didn't fuck a single guy for the past 3 years? Yeah. Jesus fuck, Chase. You're an independent-ass adult living in a big city. You're not even that ugly. Your body's got this weird lumpiness shit going on you. You smell like a clogged shower drain, and your soul patch makes you look like a hipster cunt. But you probably could get anyone you wanted. He looks at me like he's going to elaborate on that last remark, but he doesn't. Don't say did things when we know. What do you mean? There was nothing. There was absolutely nothing that went on in that part of the story. Okay. There is absolutely nothing that you need to know, to see, or to learn about. Because you know what? We are good beings here. We are wholesome and innocent, so nothing happened. I promise. Trust the blep. Mm, mm. How do, how do I actually do a blep here? Yeah, trust the blep. Trust the blep. The blep knows all. Uh, thank you? I reach up, touching my bit of chin scruff again. Still there. I get it. You and Leo being together so long fucked you up. You had a little perfect romance until it wasn't. Into a gay kids in backwards ass shitville. Woe to ya and all that. Except you weren't the only two gay kids. It was one more. Excuse me. Flynn brings up his head to his temple, rubbing at his brows ridge. He steps off, we're moving closer to the edge of the wash. Despite everything, I follow him. I came out to you first. Yeah, and that was fucking baffling. He helps kicking a crushed beer into the beer can into the sandy loam below. You never took a fucking guess? The curtness of my tone takes him by surprise. He turns my way, his slitted eyes seeming to bounce as if he's looking me over. Your horny 15-year-old ass wanted my dick. Ew. I feel like that's every single young furry in this fandom ever. Like I read this shit on Twitter and like sometimes I'm just like moving on. I let out a frustrated groan, resisting the urge to shove Flynn into the wash. No, idiot, you were the oldest, and despite how crude you were, I knew you'd know how to handle it in a way that wasn't, I don't know, patronizing or something. After everyone found out I was like this, people started treating me differently right away, yeah? I was 18, you were 15. You never took a fucking guess. I furrow my brow, pulling my paws out of my pockets and crossing my arms tight over my chest. I wasn't going to take advantage of some tumultuous kid whose balls just dropped. That moral quandary doesn't stop our supreme group patriarch, though. After that, folk treated you different because you had big-ass Latin wolf wrapped around you at all hours of the day. Wouldn't your ass off about all you want, but you two were just fucking... The two of you were fucking just the worst with all that PDA shit. Leo bitches about how the group started splitting when we got older, like it wasn't his own damn fault. Who wants to be around that fucking stuff every day? I curl my paws into fists. I don't think I could take Flynn in a fight, but a clean punch to the jaw is starting to feel more and more worth it. So that explains it all then. Gay stuff disgusts you. You think you're disgusting, so you cling to places like this because it's what makes you think you deserve. I adjust my arm out, pointing to the dilapidated red building beside us. You're a self-hating prick. Flynn stares ahead, going quiet as a large semi-truck passes on the nearby highway. Something seems to change in him, like a switch being flickered. After a moment, he blows out a long breath of air before simply shaking his head. Fucking way off, Mark. Aren't you supposed to be a journalist or something? You two ignored all of our asses. Carl was your best friend and you just fucking dropped him the moment you started riding the dick of Mr. Football. Did wonders for his self-esteem, really. He just turned out peachy, yeah? And TJ, oh man, what a bunch of victims you two were to his just overwhelming Christian persecution. Flynn, don't be simply saying bad words in front of him. He's very delicate. Yeah, I'm the bad guy, but you two took some sick pleasure in insulting him and his nice-ass family because of what he is. Even though you two knew damn well he nor his family has anything close to ill will for us to dirty sodomites. Then there's Jenna. Remember when you three all used to hang out at Leo's whenever shit got real fucking awful for her? Remember how that just stopped when the two of you started learning your dicks to go into each other's asses? Remember how shit got worse and worse for her? Remember when she changed her name? Remember when Adam killed himself and her dad did that thing? Holy shit. This took a weird turn. Flynn steps toward me, hunching down nearly a foot to meet my eye level. Heard you at least found some time to give her a ride out of town when she finally had to run away, though. Since you and Leo were fighting that weekend. See, when Leo and I fucked, you didn't see him cooing about it to everyone in earshot for the next week. Oh shit. Oh no. What do you mean? My heart pounds and I fall. Where are you going? He rounds a corner and I try to catch up, but my foot catches on a root. I slide forward and I feel my first grip of the bark. My body flips somehow and my tail strikes the ground first, bending it back and launching me forward like a spring. Next thing I know, my whole body's in the air before I can feel the dark sandy ground of the wash bed meet my face. My ears ring and I feel blood begin to seep from my nose. I lay there unmoving. As I shut my eyes, I feel a sting within them. I realize I haven't cried in a long time. That's sad! Oh my god! Holy shit, dude! Okay, you know what? Hold on. Yeah, he did need to hear it, but wow. Like, that's just wow. All right. I'm gonna get a drink of water real quick because my bottle of water is literally like just a sip away from being empty. So I will be right back. And then on top of that, let me see if I could get some. See if we could get some. Oh, you know what? I actually know what song to play for you guys. So this is a brand new song from Martin Garrix and Zed, and it's actually been a song that I've been addicted to for quite a bit now. So yeah, I will be right back. All right, so we're back now, and yeah, let's continue on with Echo. I think. Hold on, I gotta fix this again. Okay, I bring the tripod back over to my shoulder, wincing some of the as the metal pushes against my collarbone. I came all the way out here to the old post office, but my camera battery won't stay in. I can't even turn the thing on without physically pushing and holding the battery in place. Carl must have fucked the thing up more than I originally thought. When I get back to the motel, I have to see if I can fix it. Otherwise, I'll have to probably download some pictures off the county website, and just narrate over them. I should have scanned those photos I found at the city hall because going back now doesn't seem like a great idea. I close my eyes, letting my legs lead the way as I step through the tall grass and back onto the dirt road. It's hot today, way hotter than it usually is in late spring. Everything is kind of hazy too, like there's a wildfire air blowing downwind through Echo. Those usually drive my allergies nuts, but so far I'm not feeling too stuffed up or itchy. As screwed up as it sounds, I always kind of liked where there was a big fire in state. I mean, sure, it sucks sneezing all the time and having my nose feel scratchy, but I love the burning smell. It reminds me of barbecues. It doesn't smell like that now, though that does remind me. I pull out my phone. It's 10:03 a.m. Jenna texted earlier. Chase, Leo wants to set up his grill at the hill behind your house, around early afternoon, I think. If you want to stop by, you can. When we were kids, sometimes my dad would let us roll our little charcoal grill up there and try cooking ourselves. My dad always said it was to keep a wide buffer between us and the house so we didn't accidentally burn the place down. After Flynn set a bush on fire in our backyard during Labor Day, I kinda understand the sentiment. I exhale, shoving my phone back in my pocket. Oh, excuse me. Interesting, Leo decided to schedule it while Flynn is still working. I bring my thumb and my forefinger up my muzzle and press it against the space between my eyes. I sniff, smelling the faint scent of mushy ash that seems to cling to my fur even after the shower I took this morning. Just like that, my blood seems to cool. I get that weird stuttering feeling that you have in your heart when you remember something you don't want to. Last night doesn't seem real. I can't believe shit like that exists, just past where I grew up. How long has that place been around? It doesn't even have a name. I searched the address and somewhere when I got home, but I didn't find anything online. I mean, I've been in gay bars before up in Peyton, usually because some girl I'm friends with drags me there, but nothing quite like that. At least Daxton seems to not hate it completely by the time we left. Turns out the middle-aged horse guy was an old Dastry, the term for people who really like Adastra. Daxton and him hit it off pretty well while I was away. Carl, meanwhile, was already passed out in my car by the time we got back. It was an awkward car ride home. A strange sense of sad nostalgia takes hold of me as I approach the faded white old brick structure that was my home. The white picket fence that surrounded the exterior is all but gone now. The few remaining posts are scattered all over the yard, some half buried in the loose, barren topsoil. I remember when Dad always made me paint every summer, and I'd pitch a huge fit because I hated it. Working in 110-degree temperatures with scratchy bramble getting stuck in my pads, not to mention the dirt on the paintbrush. Dad was never happy with how it turned out anyway. He'd yell at me for laziness and doing a poor job. Claimed I had no aptitude for work, first placing the blame on me playing too many video games, then Leo. People are supposed to have a sense of satisfaction in their work, but every moment away from it, escapist diversion seemed to make me miserable. I coop myself in my room with a big-ass plug-in fan, watching TV, daydreaming about fictional guys, and just eating an absurd amount of cereal. I sigh as I walk over an old pot where Mom's garden used to be. According to City Hall, this place is abandoned and condemned now. I step up to the window of my old bedroom, squinting through the dusty glass and spying on the familiar turquoise shag carpet inside. All the furniture is gone and the spiderwebs hang from every corner. There's some graffiti on the wall as well. Gang sign or something that looks like crooked red number 8. Seeing it, I'm left with a feeling of unease, like the sanct, sanctity of what was. I forgot how to pronounce that word. Of what was once mine has been taken away. I don't exactly pine for the days of being stuck in there, but this is overwhelming. But there's overwhelming pang of awareness that those times have passed and are never coming back. The worries I had growing up are gone and replaced by these visceral, very adult concerns about money, jobs, debt, and I'll never have a group of friends like I did back then. A sharp whistle breaks my train of thought. I spin around to see the silhouette of two figures up the hill overlooking the house. Leo and Jenna. After a moment, TJ walks up to them and waves. Hi, Chase! I lift my paw, offering a limp wave in return. Next thing I know, TJ is making his way down the slope. Leo right behind him. Jenna follows shortly after. Chase, it's good to see you again. The lynx looks tired, all things considered. The tips of his fur tinged with the orangish dirt of the area. Still, he's beaming at me regardless. It's good to see you too, actually. TJ cocks his head. Actually? I blink. Yeah, what do you mean by that, Otter? Leo has a stern voice, his eyes hard upon mine. I mean, you know what I mean. A smirk appears at the edge of the wolf's muzzle and he steps up to me, slugging my shoulder with enough force to sting a bit. Well, astonishingly, it's good to see you as well. I wince a bit from the blow. Leo reaches over and ruffles my head fur. Sorry. So if you guys didn't know, this bean right here, Big Boy Leo, is the boy that I fanboy over. Like, I love this boy. I love his design. I love, like, the overall concept of him. He grins a little awkwardly. He seems cheery overall. It's hard to believe the same Leo that was yesterday I was hiding in a bathroom cupboard from. I try not to look too tense. Next time, hit him harder. Jenna gives me an edge look, though there's this warmth to her eyes. Jenna. She looks me over, then glances toward the road. I'm surprised you didn't drive. We found a picnic table in one of the yards of the abandoned houses. We set it up over there. He points to the base of the hill slope, where we're sure enough, an old wooden picnic table sits. And TJ was okay with this? The lynx frowns, digging his toes into the dirt. Well, as long as we put it back when we were done. You're becoming quite the rebel, TJ. I manage to smile at him. He looks slightly aghast, though Leo chuckles. We should put the hot dogs on the grill now. The bacon won't take as long. Jenna turns, making her way toward the table. Oh, whoa? Yes, Amio, this heckin' wolf right here, like, I just love him. Like, not only is he like a huge heckin' hunk of a wolf, but like, I just like really love his design overall. Like, this is I wonder if there's like a ref sheet of Leo somewhere. They've got to have one of him, right? Because I'm pretty sure like this was like a custom character made specifically for this game. But I just really love the design on him. It's really well done. On top of the grill are a couple of Ziploc bags. We're gonna grill up these fancy pepper jack hot dogs we got in Peyton. Some applewood smoked bacon. That sounds good. We even got some tofu dogs for Carl, just like old times, yeah? I hope we gotten better at cooking since then, but where's Carl? Leo shrugs, TJ chiming in. Maybe he slept in? It's kinda early. For him, I mean. We make our way over toward Jenna. Leo's tail wags slightly as he walks. I set my gear down and peer at the table. The thing is dirty as hell, probably over a decade of dust and weather etched into the wood and metal. I can't remember what neighborhood this belonged to. Over the years there were so many. Usually hippies or retirees seeking to get away from the hustle and bustle of urban and even suburban living. Most became rather disillusioned with the idea of Echo being some lovely desert escape after about a month of living here, though. Oh, whoa! Listen, I'm sorry, but like, oh shit. But like, I'm sorry, but this boy here, he can take me away for all I care. I wouldn't mind in the slightest. Like, I don't mind big hunky wolves taking me away. Who wouldn't, right? Who wouldn't? I glance up at Leo and he looks back at me. He's taking the hot dogs out of the packaging and getting them set up on the grill. The wolf doesn't say anything, and neither do I. He keeps making the same faintly awkward smile whenever I look at him too long. TJ and Jenna have sat down on the table and are digging through a wooded backpack. Jenna takes out some paper plates, setting a small stack and weighing them down with the rocks so they don't blow away. That seems kinda unhygienic. Don't worry, we won't eat off that one. She looks about over at me. We'll just give it to Chase. TJ frowns and he shakes his head. I sigh, furrowing my brow some. Look, I'm sorry I haven't been around much this whole trip. I kinda regret it too. Really? The Fennec responds with a tone of feigned surprise, that when we lock eyes, she seems to waver some. She crosses her arms over her tank top chest, looking down, then back up again. Look, it's okay. It's been an interesting few days for us. I raise a brow inquisitively. Yeah? Same here. Jenna smiles in some apologetic fashion, and I move to sit next to her. TJ reaches into a bag and holds up a few bottles of condiments to me. We got jalapeno ketchup, relish, spicy mustard, and a baggie of chopped onions. Sounds delicious, TJ. Yes, I know. It's a spice overload, but it was to appease Leo's iron palate. Hearing his name, Leo waves at us. You know, I read an article once that people who like spicy foods have masochistic tendencies. Jenna rolls her eyes, glancing at Leo, then back to me. Only you could confirm that in Leo's case. As for the article, yes, I've heard that before. It's pop psychology and based off survey statistics. What about me? One of Leo's ears flicks to point in our direction. Oh, Chase was just telling us about your masochistic tendencies. Leo stops what he's doing, looking at us with slightly widened eyes. My what? Oh, God. I cover my face with my paw. I wouldn't say I'm into that. You shouldn't be talking about people behind their back, Chula. He says that teasingly, stretching out some aluminum foil on the grill and placing strips of bacon on it. Someone should have told you that earlier. You've been talking about Chase nonstop this week. Leo stiffens some, then tries to laugh it off. What? Was just worried about him. He looks to me. With Flynn being all unstable and shit. TJ flinches at the swearing. I'm surprised the lynx was unperturbed during the masochism talk. Maybe he doesn't know what that is. I rub my arms apprehensively, peering at Jenna. What sort of stuff was he saying about me? Jenna looks in a wry way that she does when she finds herself in a position of advantage over Leo. Leo looks at her anxious. Nothing about her. I bet my neck. Maybe it's best if you two find some time to talk alone today. The Fennec looks at Leo as if having delivered an act of supreme mercy. Leo in turn looks grateful, keenly aware that he has become indebted by the act. Right, we were planning that anyway, I think. Jenna just nods. Good. You all need to stop distracting the cook here. Chase, can you... Past the sizzling of the grill, the clops of hooves on the dirt become audible. TJ cranes his neck to peer past Leo, then smiles. Carl! And, oh, hi! Yo. Hi. Carl immediately plops himself at the table across from me, the ram rubbing his eyes with his fists. Daxton, meanwhile, lingers at the end. His eyes are on me as if waiting for something. Oh, hey, Daxton. I didn't know that you were coming. Carl invited me. I wasn't really doing much else today. I put on a smile, but seeing the two just sort of reminds me all of last night. Good to meet you. I'm Jenna. Jenna offers a quick nod. Meanwhile, TJ seems to bolt up, offering a paw to the tall salamander. Hi, I'm TJ. It's good to meet a friend of Carl's. Daxton looks a little surprised, shaking TJ's paw before looking back up to me. He still has that same expectant expression on his face. Daxton? Flynn's roommate, right? Leo strolls up beside him, his spatula in his grasp. I'm said roommate, yeah. Wait, you look familiar. Leo squints. You the Vespa guy? Daxton looks back towards the road. Yeah, I drive a Vespa. Why? Leo lets out a humored noise, rubbing his brow with his free paws. He grins. You came to my dad's shop about the oil leak in that thing. Daxton blinks in realization. Oh, Alvarez Auto up in Peyton. Yeah, I went there. That thing was a damn nightmare. At first I thought you were just using the wrong type of oil, since that's the most common reason. People don't know they gotta use motorcycle oil, which lathers the transmission, gears, valves, and all that. Plus, it's less thick. But the thing was still leaking. So next I drained the overflow tube in the airbox and troubleshooted. It took me about 2 hours until I figured out that it had to do with the piston rings being worn out. Problem is, your little ride's a damn special overseas import, yeah? There's no place that has the replacement parts that you needed for at least 7,000 miles. I inherited it from my uncle in the old country. I guess that's why it took so long. Yeah, can't say I ever worked on a machine like that prior to you, so thanks for the experience. Like I was saying, my dad owns that place. I'm Leo Alvarez. Leo extends out a paw, though with less gusto than TJ. Leo? I see Daxton's gaze flick to me. He takes the paw, shaking it. Leo perks a brow. Judging by the look on your face, you've heard of me? A wee bit. All good, I hope. Leo smiles lopsidedly. Not really, but whatever. The response elicits a collective irk from most of us. The salamander withdraws its hand and Leo looks a little gobsmacked. Your roommate's Flynn, so I guess that's to be expected. Daxton shrugs and moves to sit at the table next to me. Chase, if you got a minute, could we talk later? Sure. The salamander looks grateful, but doesn't elaborate further. Leo, meanwhile, stands there rotating the spatula in his paws with his eyes on the dirt. After a moment, he turns, heading back to the grill with an expression on his face I can't quite make out. Jenna props her chin up with her paw, smiling faintly at Daxton. Wow. What? Nothing, just musing out loud. Where are you from, Daxton? The salamander rests his head on the table, rubbing his thumbs together. I've been living here in Echo for a year or two. Before that, I was in Colville, where I grew up. Ugh. Jenna stopped smiling. Colville? Really? What? What's wrong with Colville? Everything, dude. Colville, isn't that the place with the lampposts that had the little cowboy hats on top of them? Oh yeah, they had the little cobblestone streets there. I went for a field trip once. That place is too rich, even for me. They put up those creepy smiling native mannequins on the sidewalks as decorations like it isn't grossly offensive, noting its history. Oh yeah, they shot that one big western film there. The one with Jack Gillahue searching for some family's daughter that got abducted by the Meseta. The town sort of rode off the fame of that movie for the past 40 years from what it seems like. Daxton looks at all of us, crossing his arms tightly over his chest. It hasn't been doing well as it used to. Westerns aren't exactly as big as they used to be. It's kind of a shame at that. It's not really a surprise noting how tasteless most of them were. Carl shifts in his seat a bit awkwardly. TJ speaks up. Speaking of Old West stuff, how goes the project, Chase? Leo said you couldn't hang out with us because you were working on it. Jenna reaches into the backpack and pulls out a notebook, laying it out in front of her. We were bored at the motel, so we did some research ourselves. If you want to discuss your findings, that is. I feel a little put on the spot, mainly because most of what I've done so far has been shooting B-roll. Apparently, my house used to be a castle. A castle? Yeah, I looked at Pearl's house at the city hall. The record showed this big medieval-looking place. It was some sort of collapse in 1915. Living in a castle would be pretty cool. Not that I need more space, but you get what I mean. House Hendricks, the Lords of Echo. I would watch that show. Would probably have too much sex and violence for you, man. I truly doubt there would be much of the former with you in it. Carl lets out a snicker before drifting his gaze to the sizzling grill nearby. Even Daxton seems to smirk a bit. If you say so. TJ seems to flinch at the lewd talk and Jenna quickly shifts her tone. Continue, Chase. Well, that's the thing. Carl's ancestors founded the town, but I think Flynn's families are the ones that mainly controlled it during the 20th century. There's tons of more names in the records for leadership positions. We were too busy making ice cream, I guess. Speaking of, I'm starving. How much longer, man? He calls out to Leo, the wolf looking over his shoulder. Unless you want your hot dogs medium rare, just a little longer, yeah? Jenna waves off the boys' banter, speaking to me again. That's strange, noting Flynn's species. Reptilians weren't readily trusted by the majority society in this country until relatively recently. I shrug. I'm not sure whether it's relevant to what I'm trying to cover. I mean, I haven't been able to find anything about the initial 1877 hysteria incident. It's like all those files are just gone. I pause, chewing my lower lip as I remember something. There were some legal documents I found, concerning the mine. I don't know, but go on. There was mention of some sort of messed up murder happening in the mine in 1915 that somehow resulted in a riot. No mention was made of the 1877 hysteria event, though. Jenna pulls out her notes up, her eyes bouncing left and right as she speed reads. That's interesting. You mentioned that a year earlier, 1915. The census recording showed that there was a large drop in population between 1910 and 1920. I couldn't find any economic justification for it, since the mine continued to operate and the railroad line still serviced Echo. Daxton holds up his hand. So sorry, I'm just trying to catch up to what you guys are trying to figure out here. Are you saying that these mine murders caused Echo to lose all its people? The correlations don't imply the causation, but for a journalism piece? But this is for a journalism piece, not an academic paper. Being interesting is more important than being thorough, at least these days. Your piece should be called Top 10 Reasons Echo Depopulated from Evil Mine Murder You Won't Believe Reason 2. Like, there was some boobs up in the thumbnail image and posted on the Pueblo website. I frown. I'm used to hearing how the internet age has made modern journalism sort of a joke now, but it still stings. This isn't for the website or anything, this is just for a class project. Then it matters even less, dude. You're not even getting paid. Hell, you're paying them thousands. They should give you some slack. I need to build up my portfolio because right now, all it has is a fluff piece about the Pueblo's GSA's Pride concert. You still got a few more days, Chase. It isn't like you can't do your project and hang out with us at the same time. Jackson looks at a tad hangdog speaking up from beside me. I hope I'm not imposing on y'all's reunion time. I'll see what I can do, and you're fine, Daxton. The thought strikes me that tomorrow's the day Flynn plans to question TJ. I don't plan anyone will be in much of a hanging out mood after that. Maybe I should warn him about after yesterday. I don't know if I should give a damn about what Flynn wants. But maybe that's too harsh. Maybe I don't want to think about him right now. I hear the sound of heavy footsteps on the soil and a wafting smell of cooked meat fills my nose. Glancing up, Leo's standing over me. He holds out a pair of tongs with a plate of bacon and hot dogs. Buns and booze in the cooler. As if rehearsed, Jenna picks up a small plastic cooler from beside the table. She rips open the packaging and distributes the buns accordingly. Is it just alcohol in there? TJ sounds disappointed. I got you some juice pouches, Teach, don't you worry. Yay! Thank you! He smiles appreciatively. Daxton seems to peer curiously at the links before taking a hot dog for himself. Leo looks a bit reluctant towards Daxton. You guys, eat meat? Daxton's already absolutely covering his hot dog with ketchup. By you guys, you mean salamanders? Leo nods. I finally get a bun and begin to assemble my hot dog, wrapping it in the bacon. Yep, we eat meat. My grandpa used to say that you should never trust somebody who doesn't. Carl looks up. Except for Carl. He's cool and trustworthy as all hell. The ram tries to force the tofu dog into his maw and hides the big smile forming on his muzzle. Jenna looks up at them curiously, waiting for TJ to finish placing relish on his cut-up, bunless hot dog. Carl swallows, speaking up finally. I guess your grandpa's at least half-wise, dude, man. Daxton shakes his head. Nah, not really. He's just a major speciesist and hated you. Oh, Jesus. TJ chokes on his juice a little, and Jenna pats his back a few times. Whose grandpas didn't? TJ stares at him furrowed and wide-eyed. Mine, boys. Jenna gives us a look, speaking in that same old maternal tone that she's been using since she was 10. I merely shake my head. Leo comes around and sits at the table, at the remaining spot at the end of the table. Chase! I look up, quickly finishing my bite of bacon. That is my name. I was gonna ask you earlier. I got my speakers set up, hooked to my playlist on my phone. Pick us out some music, will you? He gestures to a pill pod looking thing with his phone sticking out of it near the grill. Any guidelines? Stay out of the sample music folder. He smirks. What a callback. I rise up to my feet and head over to the speaker. I pick it up and squint at the phone screen, the overhead sun casting quite a glare. I see a few playlists on here. Which one should I pick? Hold on. I'm actually gonna make a little save spot here again. Oh my gosh, look at all the saves that we have. I kind of want to hear what like all of these sound like. Kinda groovy. Oh, this is the shit. Chase must have picked the playlist labeled Seduction. How do you dance to this kind of music? She just looks sort of perplexed. However you want to, man. Got like nice lo-fi vibes. And me a spare hard lemonade. I give Daxton a grateful nod, hitting the battle top against the edge of the grill to get the cap off. Unfortunately, the top just shatters, splaying shattered glass on the ground. Okay, I want to check what this one is though. Not super high quality, but it'll work. It's my cousin's band. Pretty good, yeah? Reminds me of Cherry Bloom, back when they were still in the garage band days. I find myself smiling a bit. TJ and Cherry Bloom are like Daxton and Ad Astra. Lynx pushes himself to his feet. Good choice, Chase. They're okay, I guess. Leo reaches to the cooler, grabs a spare bottle of hard lemonade. He makes his way over, handing me a bottle to me, keeping one for himself. I give Leo a grateful nod, hitting the bottle top against the edge of the grill to get the cap off. Fortunately, the top just shatters, splaying shattered glass on the ground. Okay, the last one I want to check out is the beach playlist. Huh. Is some of the music appropriate for spring break? It's kind of new agey. Wait. I actually really like this song. Good choice, Chase. You earned yourself a drink. Ooh! Okay, me likey. I think we're sticking with this. She hands one to me. I give her a grateful nod, hitting the bottle top against the edge of the grill to get the cap off. I think right here is, yeah, that's our main save. Unfortunately, the top just shatters. Okay, yeah, but Christ. Very smooth. Well, I suppose with that little gesture, it's dancing time. I'm not sure if this is her type of music, but she gets swaying to the beat of the pop song regardless. Aren't you supposed to do that for a new boat? I'm still eating my hot dogs. Next thing I know, Leo's up as well, popping his shoulders up and rolling his arms. Leo used to be great at dancing, but that was when he was 4 inches shorter and 40 pounds thinner. He's giving me kind of a dad at cookout vibes, which is in turn starting to give me a mild midlife crisis by proxy. TJ soon joins him and balances things out, but Link's doing some basic shuffles. I look down at my feet. Fuck it. I'm an otter, right? Natural entertainer. I'm sorry, I gotta do it with Leo. I'm sorry, I need to do this with Leo. I'm not sure if it's exactly safe to drink out of a bottle with a broken top, but I might as well try. The cuts in my throat will make the alcohol work quicker, right? After avoiding Leo for the past day, it might be best not to ignore him right now. I'm still worried as hell about the way Leo has been acting and embarrassed over my own behavior. But he's still Leo, and the closest I've got to another person. Plus, somebody needs to stop him from doing that lawnmower move for the 8th time in a row. He spots me walking toward him and his whole face seems to light up. Otter! Leo, dance with me? I smiled lopsidedly. Somebody has to. I can feel the other's eyes upon me as Leo and I move a little closer together. I keep things simple, doing some basic 2 steps with the rolling of my waist, no gimmick moves. Leo begins to catch on and does the same.
We've done this before, after all. Leo dragged me to every prom, junior prom, and homecoming dance there was. Haters be damned. I wasn't much for those sorts of things, but he was the varsity football guy, so by unwritten high school law, he was expected to go to those things. Still good to talk later? Yeah. Sounds good. Leo's gaze drifts past me towards the table. He's quiet for a moment, simply moving to the rhythm. Hey. Huh? Do you remember when we... Takes me a minute, but my eyes widen and I feel my neck begin to burn. Oh god. Hey, you were the one who insisted in putting ketchup on it. Should have put the jalapeno ketchup on it. Leo smiles cheekily. Wouldn't bother me. I'm the spicy Latino, remember? He rumbles some. The look on your face when I could barely fit it in the bun? Now my cheeks are absolutely burning. Man, you jerk. Whose idea was it again? My car smelled like a concession stand for a week. It's not my fault you don't know how to properly wash. Eh? Says Mr. Muskie himself. I let out a large puff of air. Feels just like when we were a couple. And that's the scary part. My mind's reeled back to Leo's confrontations with Flynn these past few days, his violent behavior. I take a step back, clearing my throat. Let's just dance, okay? I hear ya. We continue on and it just feels like an hour passes. I peel a bit of wallpaper off the mantel with my thumb. Without all the furniture, the place looks much older than it actually is. I managed to get in by unlocking the front door with one of my credit cards. The deadbolt never worked, and I guess my parents didn't fix it either after I left town. Everything kind of smells faintly familiar. Just dusty and without my mom's burning cinnamon incense that seemed to be a constant feature of my childhood. I rest my forearms against the windowsill and my eyes lull a bit. Otter! Leo smacks his paws on either side of the window, looking up at me from the outside with a pleased expression on his muzzle. Jesus, man! I blink. Why are you shirtless? Leo pulls back some across his arms over his chest. He rolls his shoulders, a sort of indirect shrug. It was getting hot, especially with all that moving around and grilling. I give him a dubious look. Yeah, you're a hot dog, all right. The red wolf responds with a delighted smile. I hear him trying to change gears a bit. You're not like self-conscious or anything? I mean, it isn't like the height of the football season for you anymore. I flick my gaze toward his stomach. Leo's demeanor cools, though he keeps smiling as if he's trying to not let that one set in too much. He points up towards my chin. Do you dye that? What, my goatee? Is that what you call it? Yeah. He lets out a little humored grunt. What? Seems like a lot of work for a little scruff of hair, yeah? I frown, pushing him back away from the window. Leo seems to stiffen some. Hey, I'm just kidding. You look, you look very good. Seeing you dancing on all that takes me back. But you are different. He pushes his tongue against the roof of his mouth. Leo's eyes darting from side to side as he tries to find the right words. I haven't seen him like this since we were younger. Wonder if his English class has been getting worse without us around. His family really only speaks the native tongue at his home, and I imagine it's the same at the shop that he works at. Uh, thanks. I'm honestly not sure how to respond to that. What am I doing that's so different? I can't explain it. You, you're just like you used to be, just less? I feel a sinking sensation within my chest. Leo suddenly snaps his fingers. Mellowed out, that's it. Listen, Leo, you said you wanted to talk, right? Because if your big point is that I'm not a complete spaz anymore, I'm already aware. Leo furrows his white, rich brow. You never were a spaz, and I was getting to that. Chase? I spin around and see the familiar salamander standing anxiously behind me. Oh, hey. Hola, Scooter guy. Leo leans past me and waves. Hey, got time to talk, Chase? Bup. Make two saves there. Let's talk to Leo first. Okay, understood. I suppose I'll head off then. If I don't see you again, it was good meeting you, Chase. I feel a swell of guilt built in my chest. Oh, leaving so soon? Yeah, I gotta take Carl home. I've been watching him out back and he's just been sitting by himself, not talking to anybody. I can relate. I frowned, but nodded understanding. I hear you. It was good meeting you, Lieutenant Daxton. I managed to smile and he does as well, fortunately. I'm not gonna say I'm beaming out. I'm just gonna walk away for now. Of course. See ya! Oh, but now I feel bad. Because I imagine it's going to be the same for Leo if we choose one or the other. Let me come around then, yeah? Feels wrong to be looking up at you. Like the natural order of the universe is messed up. If you say so, be my guest. Great! Leo quickly pushes himself away from the window, darting off for the house. Darius, I'm not cute and I never will be. You're the cutie. I'm not cute and I never will be. You hush. Cutie. I will sing the Darius is cute song again if I have to. It's been a couple hours, I think 2 hours since he came in here, but I will sing it again if I must. Refreshing. Okay, here we go. Leo steps into what was my own living room, his eyes on his phone. I raise an eyebrow toward him. Something up? Pops wants me in the shop and paid in an hour from now, even though it's my day off. What the hell? Guess labor laws don't apply when it's family. Yeah, fuck it. You know me. I'd choose spending time with you if it meant getting chewed up by my parentals any day. He shoves his phone in his pocket, smiling down at me all the while. He does enjoy the height difference, doesn't he? Something in the back of my mind seems to whisper not as tall as Flynn, though I quickly shoved that thought aside. Leo peers around, touching the faded green wood paneling that surrounds the room. I remember the first time I was in here, back during the Halloween of 2000. Your mom invited me over. I didn't speak a bit of English, and I had no damn costume, but your parents thought we were friends, so I got ushered in here. Your mom cut up one of those old bed sheets and made me this ghost-looking outfit. Oh, jeez, I remember that. I threw a little tantrum because I apparently liked those sheets. Leo crossed his arms, grinning as he stares at a spot in the corner of the room. My Hispanic ass didn't know what the hell you guys were doing to me. I started snickering some. I thought it was just a ritual or something to steal my soul. I don't know. That was right around the time I was learning about the devil and shit. It was just bad juju to me, all of it. He makes a little motion of crossing himself. Leo's a complete atheist nowadays, but he still has the whole culture of Catholicism ingrained in him. Oh my god, I need to find some pictures of us from back then sometime. I had the biggest buck teeth, so I wanted to be a rabbit. I was too young to understand the species implications of that idea. Leo chuckles heartily, kicking an errant piece of wood out of the way. What'd you end up being? I forgot. I think it was a knight? Or a wizard. That might have been 2001. Ah, 2001. Everyone around was soldier or commando that year because of the whole terrorist stuff. And I dressed up as a pizza. Leo laughs, wagging his finger at me and nodding. A pizza. That was the best costume. I could barely move. He kept falling over. I didn't fall over, Chula. I kept getting pushed around over by Leo's cheery demeanor sombers as he exhales. I remember who kept pushing him over well. We're quiet for a time, Leo wiping some dust off the bottoms of his feet. I'd offer you a seat if this place still had furniture. He waves dismissively at the offer before beginning to wring his paws together. It was always really obvious when Leo was tense or nervous growing up. His shoulders would be raised up high and his tail had a slight curl to it. Right now he looks just like that. Leo? Leo opens his mouth as if to say something but doesn't. Instead he just turns looking back towards that corner. Leo, is everything alright? What happened to you, Chase? The question takes me off guard. I was expecting the worst, but the general nature of it has me confused. What? He turns, looking over his shoulder. Why are you doing this? Did I do something? Seriously, Otter, tell me now, please. I don't understand. You haven't done anything wrong. Besides busting to Flynn's place and assault him, of course. I'll keep that to myself for now. I know what you're doing, and you know I know what you're doing. I'm not dumb, you know. I'm not. Everything that we've had problems with in the past was cause miscommunication shit. Nothing I say is as smart as Jenna and TJ or funny as Carl or Flynn. I gotta translate everything in my head, so it's just slower. Talking to me is hard, yeah? I get that. Just fucking try for me, please. Honest, like, too. He looks at me, his chest rising and falling with some quickened pace. I slowly step to the side, resting my back against the wall and sliding down to sitting position. I sit crisscrossed and stare at the gap between my legs. You're not hard to talk with. I am. Chase, just say it. Without thinking I do. But you saw nothing. You saw absolutely nothing. We're not on the best terms right now, Leo. I hear Leo take a step forward and stop. Okay. Okay. He takes a deep breath. So, have I, yeah? That's not the end of the world. What? Despite everything, despite my actions, it sort of feels like I was just hit in the gut. When? After you left for college, I swear on my neck. I let out a big breath of air, feeling like a hypocrite. A silence falls between us. It feels like Leo's practically leering over me, but I can't muster the courage to look up. Have you... Well, have you had others? Yes, but, nothing ever felt the same as, well, you know. I'm not like Flynn. I can't go to that place outside of town and just let loose. I tried that and it just felt wrong, fucked up. It's not the same. What's the point of doing that shit if you're not with your love, And I'm not talking about that whole cultural religious mierda where you gotta marry all that. Because I know how Flynn ticks and I know how I tick. It's completely different, yeah? I hear the floorboards creak beneath his feet, the wolf shifting his weight from foot to foot. I just thought you would like me in that sort of way. For Flynn, this is nothing. This is just another notch on the wall. I cross my arms over my chest tightly, feeling cold sweat on my neck. You show up for the first time in years and it's like you don't want nothing to do with me. I get it, I'm good I'm good at sport and stuff, car stuff, and none of you gave a shit about any of that, and that was just fine. Just roll your eyes at Leo. I just liked having my friends around, all of them, but especially you. Another pause. You are like family. Hell, you can't just flick a switch and stop being family, growing up with the shit that we dealt with. Leo, you've got your real family. And you know what they always ask about? You. Well, I mean, you've got Flynn and Carl still. Flynn's, you know how Flynn is. And Carl, he's not doing too hot. I don't know how long he'll last. Long he'll last? What the hell are you talking about? I don't know, Otto. Just look at him sometime. Really, look at him and his whole... Leo trails off into a long sigh. You all just left and it was just never the same. So I pretend. I remember all the stuff you used to say, even the naggy bits. I imagine you were there with me at work, just talking to me while I was fixing cars. I pretend I'm teaching you all the basics like changing oil or replacing headlights. I know it's not riveting stuff, but it's all good because you love me and I love you too. Then I drive home listening to whatever's on the radio. Imagine you're just reacting to it. Groaning every time the word truck is mentioned in a country song or making some snide-ass remark at the political ads. Whenever I get home, I go online and it's like, there's this pulling in my chest. It's like a dread, I click on the social media shit and it's you, the real you. And you're different. You're wearing new shirts, hanging with new friends, drinking fancy college beers, and it just feels like I'm losing you all over again. So I just avoid it. I pretend. I pretend that we're drinking together on the patio as the sun goes down. I pretend that you're watching me play my games. I pretend at night that pillow I've got my arms wrapped around is you. Making your little irk noise when you do want to ruffle your head before I squeeze you. This is really sad. Like, I'm actually gonna cry. This is sad. Leo chuckles bittersweetly, the gravity of his words seeming to take hold now that he's actually said them out loud. Jesus, Leo. A week ago, you showed up beside my window. The sky was red, and you said, hey. Leo, what are you talking about? Why were you there, Chase? His tone is strange, almost without inflection. Leo, I don't know what you mean. I wasn't here last week. Next thing I know, he's stepping closer toward me. He stops and lowers himself to a sitting position against the wall. The wolf's arms stretch around my torso and pull me against his side. Heckin' hug him! Hug the boy! I've hugged Leo more times in my life than I could ever count. I don't think he's ever needed one as much as he does now. I embrace him, just letting his head rest against my shoulder. He puts more weight on me and I have to prop myself up to keep from falling over. He's so heavy now. With how rough this week has been to turn, I kinda needed this a little too. I hear him clearing his throat. Things aren't great here, Chula. I was trying to act like they were, but you know now. I was just, if he were here, I could protect you and things would be better. Leo, that might not be true, and I don't need protecting. Leo says nothing. The minutes pass, and I can hear TJ talking excitedly about something in the backyard, Jenna chiming in occasionally. Finally, Leo pulls back. He looks at me as if he was about to ask a question, but seemingly decides he doesn't want to know the answer. So, this is pretty something, yeah? I rub my paw again against my forehead. Not as pretty something as your fake me pillow you sleep with that night. I expect Leo to laugh at that, but he just peers at me with this sort of melancholy smile. Yeah. He pushes himself to his feet, dusting off the back of his pants. Let me know if you need help with the project or anything. I'll be around. Okay, but hey. His tail perks up at some, the wolf turning to look down at me. You should see somebody. I mean, about what you just told me. It never worked for you, Otter. I sigh. Yeah, but it could for you. Leo shrugs. Maybe. I'll see you later. He gives me the best reassuring smile before heading outward, running his paws along the walls as he leaves. After a while, I stand as well. I notice something odd sitting at the top of the water heater. Curious, I pick it up.
Oh, Jesus. Oh. I'm actually gonna cry. This is so sad. This actually makes me sad. This game really does pull the heartstrings.
I never knew Mom framed this. This is from high school, I think, the senior year. She always wanted a picture of the two of us. I always thought it was kind of weird how okay my parents were with us being together. I remember after they found out I was gay, I thought that things would be ruined and I wouldn't be, I don't know, normal. Then they sent me a voicemail saying that they loved me and they didn't really matter. Your happiness is priority number one. I wonder if they forgot this during the move. Though I guess this is kind of a weird picture. I wouldn't be surprised if they left it on purpose. I haven't talked to them much lately. That hits hard. That genuinely hits hard. I should go. I step outside. The air is still kind of hazy and the smell of hot dogs is pretty palpable. Okay, I think this is a good stopping point. We'll probably come back to the other saves at some point, but it is midnight and it is not every day that I do a stream that goes up until midnight. So, with that being said, I think now is when we finally um, end stream. So let me find a track to play the end on.